What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. I'm your host, Bill Forster, with my co-hosts, Kevin and Chuck, Kevin Branzetti and Chuck Richards. And this is Real Talk Chronicles. I'll explain to you again how we do things. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe to it. Let people know about it. If you're on Facebook, share it. Whomever you're watching it from, share it. Make a video party, whatever it is. Just let people know what we're doing right here. Tonight, like I told Kevin in the green room, as we say it, the Real Talk room, that we're going to talk about the governor. We're going to start off with him. We're not going to end with him tonight, but we're going to start off with him. And we're going to talk about the governor resigning. But I have a picture that I sent to Kevin that I'm going to ask him to post in a few minutes after I find out how my fellows are doing. I posted it yesterday, right? I stand by what I said. I said, I'm not saying he's innocent. And a gentleman, I want you to please fact check me and correct me if I'm wrong or anything. I'm not saying he's innocent, but something looks fishy about the picture, right? Well, Lordy be. The fact that I said that, and for some, it opened up a can of worms, unbeknown to me and other people, right? With that being said, I invited a lot of women on. Hey, Lorraine, what's up, sis? I see you in the building. Shout out to my correction officer family, my sister in the building. I'm going to address a lot of things, and I'm going to go back to these comments. I've asked several women to be on to speak and converse about things that they only know. What I realize is that sexual harassment is such a touchy subject, gentlemen. And no matter whom the individual is, Bill Cosby, the other, what's the other millionaire guy, Allstein, Jerry Feinstein, whatever the fuck his name is. My bad. Sorry, y'all. 45.
Harvey Weinstein.
That's the touch. Harvey Weinstein.
Or Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, I know it was a Steen. You know what I'm saying? It was a Steen. And now Cuomo. This is such a touchy subject for women. White, black, whomever your ethnicity is. It's a touchy subject when it comes to political parties. It's just a touchy subject that I posted, that I will post again, because that's going to be this elephant in this room to start this conversation off, is that I said there's a picture of the governor with this young lady. And yes, please, let's post this picture, because I've had it with people.
Already out of the gate. I don't have it. You ready to know we throwing the flag already, right?
You know, it's so funny. First, let me ask you guys, before we post this picture, how are you doing today? How you doing, Kev? How you doing, Kev? It's about to get real talk up in here. It's about to get real.
I'm doing well, but I'm a little nervous.
No, that's all right. I can go.
But I'm going to enjoy you in the hot seat, because normally it's me.
That's all right.
This is going to be a good night. I may just sit back.
I'm an only child.
Get a pillow and just relax.
That's it, baby. That's it. I'm with it, brother. I get it. So, how are you? You good, Kev? Chuck, you good? How you guys doing?
Yeah, brother. I'm good. I'm just wanting to. I'm just waiting to see, man, when the bullets start flying and how many we gonna have the duck and dodge. That's all. That's what I'm saying.
Listen. I'm gonna hit him with
the rain.
Wonder Woman, the Kryptonite. I'm bouncing them off, baby. I'm Neo in the Matrix right here. I'm holding it all down. Listen, and I say all that to say that before we show this picture, okay, Kevin, the picture's here. All right, I'm gonna post a picture, right? Hold on, everybody. I'm gonna post this picture, right? Let me just go on the record right here and say unequivocally, I denounce any form of sexual harassment done to any woman. I'm sure my co-hosts agree the same. You guys, if you're muted or not, can you nod? Do you agree with that? You
Oh no,
denounce
absolutely. No, I agree.
exactly.
I agree.
Kevin, you good, right? Yeah, you denounce it, right?
It's like
No, I'm
I'm
just
getting
saying.
ready to denounce you. So
Yeah, no, yeah, it's all right. You ain't gonna denounce me. I'm gonna rock with it right now, right tonight, right? So, but let's understand we've come a long way on both sides of the coin where men cannot give compliments to women at work. I've been in a position where I've given a woman a compliment, and like I said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna give you some real shit tonight. I've given a sister, a black woman, a compliment at work, in a law enforcement. I was working, and she was an ADA, and I told her she looked nice. In her own mind, she feels she needs to check me and says, listen, that's sexual harassment if in the workplace if I feel uncomfortable. Well, lo and behold, my effing bad giving you a compliment. You understand what I'm trying to say? Like here, I'm trying to say, yo, you look nice. In her mind, she saw me trying to holler at her, right? Listen, chick, if she was listening now, knock it off. Really, like I hope you're happy. You had a boyfriend at the time, whatever. And I kind of find out, at the ADA parties, you walking around prancing with your dude. But now I understand the mentality, right? But it taught me that everyone is exempt from getting a compliment now. You understand what I'm saying? Everyone is exempt from getting a compliment because the bottom line is to make me feel that you would bring me up on sexual harassment, unbeknownst to me, just to give you a compliment, thinking that I saw another woman of color and I wanted to just say, you look nice, right? She shut me down so hard body that right now I got nightmares from that shit. You know what I'm saying? Now, it's crazy because I need you guys to give me some insight because you were supervisors. I have never been in a position of power on a professional level. I've been in positions of power, but not on the level where I could alter somebody's career. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, of course, we could talk about power in affecting arrest or what somebody can do or not do, but never in a position of supervision on the workplace. Kevin, you go first, and then Chuck, you go first, and come in, and just give me your insight on how did you supervise women that you work with, because this is a big elephant tonight.
It's you got to just everybody's the same, bro. That's it. It's just
Right.
there's one flat level of everybody, right? You use the same. If I wouldn't say it to a guy, I won't say it to a girl. If I wouldn't say it to the other way around, that's it. So saying you look great in that outfit tonight or today at work. If I'm not saying that to a guy either, I ain't saying it to a girl. It's kind of like you gotta use your words the same, and it's not easy, right? Like we were grown up to and taught to compliment and things. So there's compliment, and then there's like being aggressive. I've talked about this. The other stuff you can't do. I have to be careful with. I've seen people get insulted for giving up a chair to a woman holding a door. It's a strange thing. Everybody has. There's no one level. We don't know what the line is. So for each person you interact with, the line's different. Right.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I don't know if it's down here, if it's up here. Right. And
Absolutely.
I know, like, if the three of us are in the green room together, there's no line. Right?
Absolutely.
Like, we can say whatever the heck we want. There's none.
You're right.
On
You're
air
totally
afterwards,
right.
there's
You're
definitely a line, but we know the line. So that's it. It's difficult to understand what that line is. So you just have to take everything in life step back a notch.
Yeah, it's so funny. Before you chime in, Chuck, we come from a culture where we've said with some derogatory things about each other's ethnicities, all in the workplace. Like, if the new world order would listen to the way we've conversed with each other in the 90s or the 80s and stuff like that, and the way we've joked with each other's about backgrounds and ethnicities, yo, kid, you know how many, the whole department would be fired. The whole department would be fired. Right now, there's things that we can't even jokingly say with somebody ear hustling. And it's okay, because with everything, there's evolution. But we're going to discuss what is acceptable and not acceptable, and is it really acceptable? Because when I look at this picture, that's a whole different mentality, and we're going to discuss it. We've had women. I've extended the olive branch to anybody right now. Again, certain circumstances have caused the other individuals that were going to be on tonight not to be on, but I've extended it to anybody right now listening. If you want to get on and talk about this topic with us, please, because I cannot give you a woman's perspective. I can give you a real talk perspective. I can give you a man's perspective. They can give you their perspective from a supervisor as a man's perspective, but we can give a woman's perspective. So if there's any woman that wants to join this panel right now tonight, please do so. I beg you, come on. If you've been a victim, please, if you feel like you're comfortable enough to share it, share your story. If you're not comfortable enough to share it, I understand that. But when I go back to the topics, when I posted this picture yesterday, and all I said is, I'm not saying he's innocent, but this looks fishy. Again, I'm not saying he's innocent, but this just looks fishy. I've had people tell me I was judging. I had people said, yo, you're giving knee-jerk reactions. Are y'all really kidding me with this shit? Like, everybody is just, and listen, I've seen people post all on that comment yesterday. I tagged both of you guys in it. It was all about politics. It was about a whole bunch of things. Listen, we're going to cover all that. We're going to cover the politics aspect of it. We're going to cover the disrespect of a man disrespecting a woman in the workplace. But we're also going to talk about, too, what is disrespectful. You understand what I'm saying? Because this dude is single. And I'm not taking up for Como. I don't have a nickel in this dime. I don't care. Everybody, this is a real talk moment. I do not care one way or another if he's innocent or guilty. Please let me explain that to you. I do not care. What I do care about, if a woman has felt violated, that she gets her just due. I think all three of us, and they can speak for themselves, we are not co-signing any form of sexual harassment, sexual abuse, domestic violence, or anything of that magnitude. We are just having a conversation, and we want to get clarity. And I'm asking anybody that wants to be a part of this, let us know, because I cannot speak from a woman. I I think maybe all of us, some of us, have been in positions. I've had women like me that I didn't like them, and they pursued trying to get with me. But I don't know if that was sexual harassment back then. Who knows? You understand what I'm saying? But it wasn't in the workplace. It's sexual harassment just in the workplace, right? I mean, this is a power position dude right here. And if you look at this picture, now I'm going to ask you guys first and foremost. We're going to get back to this picture, but disclaimer, Kevin and Chuck, give me your feelings on how you feel about sexual harassment, please.
You want to go first, Kev? I mean, I don't know.
I mean, what do you mean? How I feel about sexual harassment? You know,
I'm just. Did you listen? You was on the show, right? You just sitting here, right? I'm just saying. I'm not taking no prisoners tonight.
Wow.
You dressing this shit up because
yo, give me a minute. I'm gonna get you some gauze pads for that cut you just gave me.
So what I'm trying to say
stab room, like
give me your. I mean, like I said, I just gave a full disclaimer that I personally I'm not an advocate of sexual harassment in any form, shape. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just asking you to talk and give me your take on this because you have a daughter. She's going to grow up to be a woman, and she's going to be in a workplace, some workplace, whatever she chooses to be. And you're going to have to teach her the ins and outs about sexual harassment, the Me Too movement. Let me tell you something. All women, and I'm not going to say all women. Lord, please, let me stop this right now. Not all women are Me Too, but all women, will benefit from Me Too. You understand what I'm trying to say? Because like I said, I'm going to go down a road that I can only speak from my eyes. You understand what I'm trying to say? And that's why I wish so much that the women that were going to be on could be on. And I'm still extending this. Any woman that want to be on, please come on right now. I'll send you the damn link. Because the bottom line is, I can't talk about what your experience is. You know what I'm saying? But when I look at that picture, I've had people ask me, oh, how do you know when this picture was taken? I was told this picture was taken after she made her complaint, right? Supposedly. I was informed that she sent this picture to her girlfriend, and her girlfriend was like, yo, I'm jealous of you. If you look, we're all three law enforcement. If you look at that man's clothes, that's not the uniform of the day. That's not they're hanging somewhere. You know what I'm saying? They're hanging somewhere.
Out someplace. At a Yankee game or something. I don't know.
They're at the Cheesecake Factory or something. They're somewhere having fucking cocktails.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? She's comfortable. Right. She has her arm around him. What did I hear? Oh, don't let a picture be this. Don't let this be happen. Don't even though they took a picture together, a no is a no. I didn't say this picture just incriminates her. What I said, it can cause confusion, right? It can put a cloudy a picture on this because the bottom line is she posted this picture, not him.
Yeah, I take nothing from the picture, right? Because it is very normal for women who are sexually harassed to sexually abused to still show friendship towards the perpetrator of it. It is completely normal. We mentioned,
really?
Okay, we mentioned Harvey Weinstein earlier today, and there was women he forced, and they're at at signings and shows and events with him with their arm around him.
Let me say this. I hear you, and everybody out there listening. I might have a issue with that because you're talking about a man in superpower, and if what you're saying, Kevin, is that they did a get along, go along because he was in so much power, they were scared to ruffle the feathers, right?
That could be it. Sure. Yeah, that's part of it. Absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, they did say there was a great deal of intimidation.
Right.
They did say that his demeanor and his personality was quite intimidating, and he was a bit of a bully. So, and they did make accounts and state that a lot of them didn't come forward because they were afraid or they were intimidated based on his power. So, yeah, I mean, I would agree with that.
And like I said, this is kind of what we saw with Harvey Weinstein, right? Harvey Weinstein's a different, he's a completely different level.
That's
right.
That's a different level.
But once one woman came forward and took the lead and broke that seal, dozens and dozens and dozens of others came forward afterwards and talked about, how he raped them. I mean, all right, he's been convicted of rape. I could say that at this point. So, but it took that first person to break it, because that guy would end your career. This guy would end her career and everybody's career around him. And that you've heard over and over again, not just from the women, but you hear this from other Democrats and men. And who's the rep in Queens who's been going after him for the nursing home because he lost family in a nursing home. And he talked about that, Cuomo threatened his career, right? And that's what this is. So behind the scenes, when you're in this kind of power, whether it's Cuomo or anybody else of that level, you don't get there from, usually being, nice behind the scenes. You're ruthless. What level? But, you can ruin people's lives. So people don't talk and people shut up and they're like, all right, whatever. He grabbed my butt a couple of times. It's not the end of the world. I'll move forward and I won't say anything. But then once one of the other women comes forward, you start to go, maybe it's time. And another one comes forward and you're like, all right, you know what? I'm going to join them and not let them go at this alone. And then it's a tidal wave. It's just not the first time we've seen it.
Well, the one thing, let's be true about, like you said, I had this conversation with Malika. I'll have it with you all right now. To step out on a limb, you have to be prepared for the darts and the shots and the punches, right? That's why I say this with so much conviction. I'm not saying this man is innocent. I'm not saying that. There are people out here that feel that he's innocent. They feel like this is a setup. They feel like this is Republican stuff. This is Democrat. They feel like Letitia James is coming at him because she wants a spot. There's so many different topics that we can cover with this. I'm cool with that. I'm telling you what I see, right? When I look at this picture, when it was done, I was told it was done after the complaint, right?
Which woman is this? Do you know what woman this is? I was trying to Google.
I think which woman is this?
Anybody out there know?
This is, I think, anybody out there doesn't know. But is this the state trooper? I think this might be the state trooper. This is
whoever she is. She's engaged, obviously, because look at the size of the rock on her finger. I don't. Who is she? Because I was also trying to find out and figure out who she was.
Also, to my knowledge, she sent this picture to her girlfriend, and her girlfriend said, "I'm jealous." Right? So there's dialogue about this situation. Now, ladies, I'm not saying that because of this picture means she's supposed to be sexually harassed. We're making conversation. We're having real talk. Just like you, we're trying to solve the crime and the problem. Because the one thing is to have a conversation. And if any woman has been sexually harassed before, they take it personal when you have a different dialect with this shit. And I need you to step out the box. I can't get mad at every white man that has. If I see a white man hit a black person, I can't get mad at a Latin man for hitting a black man. For, you know what I'm saying? Every person. So please, because I'm talking this, this is real talk, and you get real talk at its finest right now. We're talking about this real elephant in the room. We could talk about him. We could talk about sexual harassment. The bottom line is, I didn't say he was innocent. No way, shape, form am I saying this man is innocent. Letitia James found something. We know as investigators and as supervisors, if we interview somebody and they tell us a crime was committed, we arrest the person. Am I wrong or right with that? Right?
True. Once it's
Yeah,
investigated,
I mean,
absolutely, yes.
I mean, the wheel is. Listen, if we tell somebody comes up to us and says, "Oh, yo, he just robbed me," he robbed you? Yes, he's right there. Are we making that arrest? It's a robbery, right? We'll find out later what happened if it's if it's a grand larceny or for a robbery with a weapon or something. But we're making an arrest because we got a complaint. I mean, am I right, Kevin? Or are you with me on this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
But
Okay.
not every complaint gets arrested on the spot. But yes.
Okay. I say all that to say that I don't know what Letitia James has found. I know she's a pit bull. People talk about she has aspirations of being a governor. That's neither here nor there with me, right? Which people are talking about karma is coming back to haunt this dude. That's neither here nor there with me. The bottom line is that we're talking about sexual harassment, right? Can it be karma? Can it be people talking about going back to the what is it? The homes. What is it? The nursing homes. That's coming back to haunt. Like, listen, if you go back to that post that I posted, you got all kind of shit going on that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, cats is taking shots at everybody. People are pulling out all the guns in their conversation, right? My thing is that I'm not saying he's innocent of sexual harassment with her. I'm not saying he's innocent of sexual harassment with any of the other 10. But I'm telling you, to have this picture, we don't know what this dialect was. And could it have been he thought he could embrace her or try to touch her? I don't know. And then she said no. Could there have been a position promised if you hold my ball sack? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to like lighten this shit. But listen, right. We all know. I'm not saying any of you have been a part of this shit, but you all know that women have put themselves in positions to get ahead. I've seen it. Right? I'm not saying anybody has been a part of it, but the bottom line is, Kevin, you just mentioned earlier, you dealt with women the same way you dealt with men. You didn't even want women inside. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like, listen, I'm sure that any given time there could have been female officers that, hi Lou, hi Sarge, you want some coffee, you want some tea, you want some donuts? You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is. Listen, Sarge, you looking real nice. Lou, you looking real nice in your uniform. You know, what do we do? Okay. You know what I'm saying? But if we would have hit them with yo, call somebody, sexual harassment, they'd be like, yo, I just gave you a compliment, money. You know what I'm saying? We are not right now. Giving a compliment to a woman is a no bueno right now, B. Chuck, what's your thoughts on that before I read some comments and questions?
Well, someone just said this. I think someone clarified that that's executive assistant number 1. Okay.
It is Lindsay.
I wasn't sure who she was. It is. Okay.
And I'm doing a little research on this. My best guess at the moment, this is fake.
Huh? What do you mean it was fake? The picture?
Because I can't find this. You're Googling this, researching Lindsay Cuomo hugging, Lindsay sending photo to girlfriend. I'm doing a whole bunch of things looking. I don't see it. And then I'm looking at parts of the photo like here, where her hair kind of just ends. Mm-hmm. There's that white spot.
Kev, you know this photo was
a Photoshop to me.
You know this photo came out on the news. This is not something I'm just telling you.
On the news, or did you pull that out of Facebook?
I'm telling you, I didn't pull it personally out of face. I pulled it out of what was given in social media. But what I'm telling you is where people got it. and I got it from a reliable source that it was already out there. So I mean,
I can't find it. I can't find it on the news.
Okay, so what do you want? Anybody out there? You want to Google? I mean, the whole internet world has this picture out there, and I mean, I get what you're saying, but what am I to say now? Like, okay, because Kevin can't find it, it's not real. I don't know what you want me to say.
No. It's hard to prove a negative.
So I mean, I get it.
So I'm asking.
So anybody out there, can you validate this picture for Kevin? Because Stats will get his trunks in a bunch on this one. So listen, because right now, like I said, this I think what I've realized from this conversation yesterday is that there are a lot of women out there that have suffered sexual harassment. And I'm sorry that you've been put in that position. I really am, because certain comments yesterday, I was like, it was a conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm in the journalism right now. So what I put out there for conversation. I didn't put out there and said, this is what I believe. When I tell you what I believe, and you want to ask me what I believe tonight, I'll tell you. I dare somebody ask me what the fuck I believe. You know what I'm saying? But I have no problems stating what I feel. But what I put out there for conversation, it seemed like people were telling me, yo, I'm assuming. I'm not assuming anything. I never said this man was innocent. Like I said, I don't have a nickel and a dime. I do not know Mr. Cuomo. He's not signing off on any checks that I receive. He's not coming to my house. We're not having beers. I don't know his brother. I don't know anybody in his family. I just went from a journalistic standpoint, and I said, if someone's sexually assaulted me, I didn't even write this. This was a picture that's going around. It's obviously, you can see there, it's somebody's personal thing. There's the captions are at the top of the screen. This was told to me. Like you said, Kevin, I haven't found it. It was sent to me, like a lot of other things that are sent to me. I've never questioned it, even though I may have done the research. Like you said, you're doing the research. You're looking for girl with Cuomo, whomever, whatever the situation. I don't know what you're looking at, Googling. But the bottom line is, everybody in America has seen this picture. If I would have put this on, when I put this on social media, Facebook would have fact checked me. They would have told me this is false. When I had the doctor on Monday, they bumped me because we were talking about COVID. So I'm just saying, if they bumped me from COVID, they almost locked me out my account. I had to stay on YouTube for a minute almost. Really, because I talked about COVID with the doctor.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. They actually censored you.
Yes. And
wow.
I'm putting it out here right now in the world. Facebook censored me. I had to go through my account again to get back on. That's why if anybody out there that saw the show Monday, I said if I get bumped off, go straight to YouTube and watch the rest of the show, because I had got kicked out of my own account Monday, and they told me why, because I kept mentioning COVID and stuff like that, and they thought it might have been false information. I said the doctor's going to talk about it. What was false? The fact that I kept tagging people or sharing it. So I say it all that to say, Kevin, and this is no disrespect to you at all, but if I posted this picture, if it was false, they would have fact checked me and they would have kicked it off. So I don't know what to say after that. This is Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host, Bill Foster, with my co-hosts, Kevin Branzetti and Chuck Richards. And we're talking about what's your thoughts. I'm going to read some of your comments, everybody. What's your thoughts on, do you feel the governor is guilty? Do you feel this is a setup? What's your thoughts about sexual harassment? There are so many elephants in this room right now. All I'm thinking is I just felt like I had to come and definitely talk about this because, like I said, I posted this and I didn't say that he was innocent. Anybody, please fact check me. I didn't say he was innocent. And it seemed like people were coming all over. Like we had women talking about, you had women going at women. You had, I mean, I say going at it was like light banter, but you had men talking about women, talking about why did you defend Bill Cosby this way and all kind of shit. Like, it was crazy yesterday. It really was. Over 100 and some odd comments, over 100 and some odd likes. So it was real. Can Kevin or Chuck? Let me read some of the comments. Hold on. Everybody, this is Real Talk Chronicles. This is what we do. Shout out to everybody chiming in. This is a hot topic. Exactly. I see by all the people that's watching from Facebook and YouTube. Let's see. Stefania said the threshold for what constitutes as sexual harassment need to be better defined. Exactly. Kev, if you can you Google what sexual harassment is, book terminology, real quick before we go on somewhat. That way I can go on. Hey, Kim Shear, what's up? Cleo said the picture shows we are friends and maybe a little more than that, maybe. That's the point. Lorraine said it's a sad new day. Absolutely. Earl say, what's good, bro? You, man, how you, E? Cleo said, when did the line become so serious? I have no idea. Stefani said, I agree with Como. He's from the old school and was unaware that the line of what constitutes as sexual harassment has been redefined. However, it's getting to be a bit ridiculous now. What do you think about that, Chuck, before I read any more comments?
Well, I mean, it all depends. I mean, like, for instance, I think because of the fact the way that I was raised, I might have been guilty of sexual harassment, not knowing that that's what it was, because the overall issue of giving a woman a compliment, opening a door, asking if they want a seat. I mean, is that sexual harassment? Because I may see or notice something about you that I want, especially if I'm in an environment where, well, I'll give you another prime example. When I first came on the job, there was one thing that an old timer, veteran, told me, right? One of the veteran cops when I came through. His name was Winfred Maxwell. And he says, when you come into a command, there are three most important people in the world that you need to know and be very nice and cordial to. The timekeeper.
Yeah. Keep on.
Payroll, and whoever controls the details. Right? Yep. Those are the three. Now, 9 times out of 10, those three were women. They were women. 9 times out of 10. They were holding the Holy Grail. So I made it upon myself to come upstairs, say hello, give them a smile,
hi, ladies.
Give them compliments.
How y'all doing?
How you feeling?
Right.
How's everybody? I mean, maybe I was, in essence, right? Maybe that might have been sexual harassment, but it wasn't because of the fact I was doing it in a manner which, in fact, I was trying to degrade them or I was trying to take advantage. I was just told very, very clearly that those are the three people you get to know and let them get to know you, because every now and then, so what? You brought them up, some flowers, you brought them a donut, or hey, you want some coffee or whatever, and you just kind of like grease their palms, so they just give you a little smile. And so I like that boy. He's nice. He's so nice, so sweet.
Say that word again, because people have to understand. Everybody has greased somebody's palm, correct?
Right. You grease someone's palm because you are hoping that by doing so and showing that attitude of kindness, that when in fact you need that day off, when you're putting in your overtime slip, when you don't want to go to that detail, they'll go, don't worry about it, sugar. I got you covered. Don't worry about it. But that was just, so I don't know. Was that sexual harassment? I don't know.
Yeah, but let me even go dig deeper into this. When we did it with a man, was it sexual harassment too? When we did it with the mail sergeant, did we give him? When we bought him a coffee and we said, "Sarge, do you need something?" Or when the regular, not just law enforcement, when the regular person goes down and says, "Yo, Jimmy," they ask their boss, "I'm going to get some coffee. Do you want some coffee?" And they bring him back some coffee, and they don't ask for no money. He'd be like, "Yo." He plays off like that whole fucking alligator shit. Like he acts like he's gonna go get some money. You know what I'm saying? Give him like this. Right. You want some? How much do I owe you? Don't worry about it. Okay. Right.
You know what I'm saying? All right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I say all that. Was that sexual harassment when the female does that? So this is a slippery slope when we talk about this, and everybody out there listening, please understand. I'm not.
And it's true because so now, I mean, in terms of going to the degree of actually touching or grabbing or fondling, okay, that was something that I mean, I never did that. I never crossed that line. But even as we know, sexual harassment can be sometimes interpreted just by a word. And like I said, I probably have committed it. I mean, I'll give you another prime example. As a matter of fact, what I used to do was around every Valentine's Day, for all the women that worked for me, I would go get 3 dozens of roses. So I didn't know that if any of them had Valentines, but it was Valentine's Day. So I made sure that I went around to like all the women that worked for me and I gave them a rose. Now, I don't know, I wasn't trying to hit on any of them, but it was.
But if somebody would have said,
some woman may go, "Oh my God, he's attracted to me.
That.
What are you doing giving me a right? You know, what are you doing?" Why
she would have went back like, "Oh, like what the fuck?" You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
But once again, that was the way that I was. That's how when I was even brought up and mentored by other bosses, he says you have to show appreciation to the people that work for you. So it wasn't like I gave a rose to one person. I made sure I gave it to all the female and all the women that worked for me. I mean, I didn't give it to no guys, but so I don't know. Did any of them find that as being
but then that would have been a whole other
from
thing.
The outside who wasn't working for me, but they deem that or think or state that was sexual harassment because I gave a gift of a rose to every single woman that worked for me. I don't know. So it's a slippery slope. There's just certain things, of course, we all know you do not cross. You don't put your hands, you don't grope, you don't be grabbing, you don't, and we know that there are men who are in certain power even within the police department, outside the police department, whether it be mayors, governors, men of power, if they can find a way of getting away with something, especially here, you do me a favor, I'll do you a favor. Believe me, we know historically that's what men have done, and it's not right, and it's an injustice, and it's wrong. But by the same token, like you said, sometimes something as being from the old school and just being cordial and giving someone a compliment because the color they have on that day happens, to
match their eyes or some shit.
So now that can create a problem. So now I don't know. So I mean, would I get in trouble if I called every woman around me ugly? Is that sexual harassment? I don't know. What if I said the reverse? Like I said, hey, I'm sorry, all of you women today look quite ugly. I don't know. Is that sexual harassment? But if I went to all the women and said you all look gorgeous, is that sexual harassment? But that can be sexual harassment. So it's such a slippery slope, and it's like that fine line. It's like best not to say anything at all anymore. It's just mum's the word.
You know what I equate sexual harassment to right now, Chuck and Kev? You remember that old cliche, and I'm gonna go down a rabbit hole, everybody. When you can meet one woman and she said, "Oh, if you was a man, you would do this or you do that." Then you date another woman and she said, "Oh, if you was a real man or you was a man, you do this and you do that." So sexual harassment depends on the woman and how she
views subjective and how she views it. Yeah, her perspective, whatever her perspective is, because they're all different.
Because I'm just using this as an example, and if you two worked with Malika and you said, "Hey, Malika, you're looking nice today," and I'm talking in a corporate aspect. Let's take out the uniform, because how does a person really look nice in a uniform unless it's tight as shit, right? But the bottom line is, or a man got the shirt tight around his muscles or whatever the case may be. But if you work with Malika in a corporate place and she knows you, she knows that we do all this real talk together and stuff like that, and you say, "Hey, Malika, you look nice today." Well, I said that to Joe, or I said that to Kevin's significant other, or whatever. That's not sexual harassment. She's going to take it and say, "Thank you, fellas. How you doing? How's your day?" But maybe if you talk to somebody else, Jane Jones, or Sarah Rabinowitz, and you say, "Hey, Sarah, you look nice today." What? You know what I'm saying? I look nice.
Because what's also dangerous about that? Let's say you gave Malika a compliment, right? And we gave her a compliment. If the woman that's sitting next to her didn't think that was appropriate, she could pick up a phone and say that's sexual harassment.
That's my point, and that's what I'm trying to say when I say about it depends on who receives it and who accepts it. You understand what I'm trying to say? You know, Kevin, you talked about how, and I'm gonna get back to some of these comments. Kevin, you talked about how you were able to posture yourself when you were dealing with your staff. Just elaborate real quick on that again, and how you made everybody super equal. As I get ready to read some more comments. Go ahead, please.
I mean, that was the only way to do it for me, Bill. It was making everybody equal. It was everybody was a person, not a man or a woman. So if I was comfortable in saying it to a man, then I could say it to a woman. If I was comfortable saying it to a woman, I could say it to a man. I had to be comfortable saying it both directions.
Got you. I'm gonna read some comments. I think we're gonna have Vanetta that she's gonna try to chime in and come on. So Vanetta, if you're listening, I'm gonna send you the link and you can come on whenever you get a chance. That's what we want. We want somebody to come on and say what they got to say, you know, and hear from a woman's perspective. Because the bottom line is, ladies, you can only tell us what it's like to be put in that situation. You know what I'm saying? Men, we can sit here from an outside ear and tell you what we see and what we feel and what we think, but I cannot tell a woman what it's like to feel sexually harassed. If Malika right now, she told me one time years ago when she was working in corporate America, a guy used to go behind her and massage her shoulders. And then when he would kiss her, hello, trying to be friendly, he could kiss on her cheek. The next thing you know, by 2 weeks in, or next thing you know, he's trying to kiss her right here. And she had to let him know, dog, like, I'm not comfortable with that. He froze up. You understand what I'm saying? But was that sexual harassment? Unwanting touching, stuff like that?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? How many of us are touchy-feely? You understand what I'm trying to say? Cuomo tried to post a lot of shit that he was touching men and of all different backgrounds and gay, straight, whomever. But the bottom line is, okay, yeah, he's a touchy-feely dude. But the bottom line is, they didn't say they felt sexually harassed. Excuse me. Right now, let me just read some of these comments and stuff like that. Everybody, this is Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host, Bill Forster, with my co-hosts, Chuck and Kevin. And we're dealing with this real talk. You know, we have some other stuff in the room that we want to discuss, but I wanted to get this out the way. I really did. And I want people to converse. Ladies, the three of us cannot talk for you. I don't know if any of you have been through. Neither one of us know what you've been through. If you want to share it, I understand you may not want to share it in this kind of form. This is a podcast, and people are watching all over the world in different cities and states and countries. I get it. But I respect, we all three respect you. You know what I'm saying? You as a woman, we respect women. I wouldn't be dealing with these men, and these men wouldn't be dealing with me if we didn't respect women. We're not co-signing any sexual harassment from any star, whomever they are, or celebrity, or a man of super status power. We're not co-signing that. But like somebody has said to me, I was talking to, and I won't mention your name today. We were talking, yo, a woman's talking about she was sexually harassed by Bill Cosby, but she kept going to his hotel room, like what, she went 2 times or 3 times, and she got drugged. Every time you wake up, you ain't got your clothes on. What the F you still doing there? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Don't put yourselves in that position either, too. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's a real slippery slope. You going, but see, this is it. You chasing the golden apple. I'm not saying every woman out here, Jane and John and Q Public. I'm talking about those who's chasing the golden apple, and then you don't receive it. You didn't get it. And then all of a sudden now you done gave up some ass. You done did certain things, compromise situation. Yo, it is, Kev. That's what it is. Because there's some of these women, listen, listen, if we really dig deeper in a lot of these women, these men have had sex with these women. Do any of you not feel that out of these 11 women, or out of these women at Feinstein or Bernstein, whatever the dude name is, you know what I'm saying, or Cosby, you know what I'm saying? There's been some bodily fluids shared, right? We know that with the Cosby and the other dude. Listen, Cuomo don't look like he didn't just touch a titty. He look like he's comfortable right here. You know what I'm saying? He's the governor. If Kevin, to your point, if this picture is accurate and authentic, this is at the Cheesecake Factory, or this is some at the little club or some shit. Like this is not no. He's at Red Lobster or some shit. You know what I'm saying? He's having fun in some shit. This dude is having a good old fucking time, man. And she's having a ball. Let me tell you something. I don't care how many women I know. Chuck, I grew up with your wife. We wouldn't take a picture like that. I grew up with your
no. Let me disagree. Because of the relationship that you have with Johanna, and because of the history you have over the years, you taking a photo like this would not be perceived as harassment.
But I understand that. But what I'm trying to say is, a lot of times as friend photos, we take it with this way, with one behind, one in front. We don't take it with the arm over. That's what I'm trying to equate. You understand what I'm saying? So when have
you know? I would disagree. I could see Johanna putting her arm around you and taking a photo.
No, I'm not saying it would be. It would. I wouldn't say she wouldn't do it, but I'm just saying when you look at a selfie, the average selfie is a person behind it, and the person is standing behind it. Because the bottom line is, a selfie is not an easy thing. Like I've mastered selfies. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Even with selfies, I don't take a selfie with my arm around somebody. I take a selfie and I be like moving close because I want to get your face, my face, and especially I want to get my face as my damn camera. You know what I'm saying? I want to get. You know what I'm saying? I want to get my face. Yeah, and listen, vanity is a mother. It's a 7 sin. I'm not gonna sit here and argue with y'all on that. You know what I'm saying? Man. Let me read. My man Mark said, shout out to Mark in the building. He said, Bill, I feel what you're saying, but in this community that stands behind women like the women you described, yes. Are there men who push the envelope? Hell yeah. I despise boys like that. There are people who do the most, but egotistical women like you described are lacking something. Just my opinion. Absolutely. Lorraine said they look like they are on a fabulous date. Absolutely. Stefania said, and there needs to be a statute of limitations. Someone can't pop up from 10 years ago and say, oh, he sexually harassed me. What do y'all feel about that? Kev, I'll go with you, Kev.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be a time frame, right? Like you know, if you're going to bring up something from 10 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, on harassment, yeah, there's a time frame. On rape, no time frame. Yeah.
Chuck?
But
yeah, I agree with Kevin in regards to that. There should be a statute of limitation of someone wanting to bring up an issue if they've been, in terms of sexual harassment. When it comes to be sexually assaulted or rape or something that's heinous, no, definitely there should be no statute. I mean, sometimes based on the abuse or based on the psychological issues that someone may go through, based on them being raped or being sexually assaulted, it may take some time. It may be something they're trying to, put away. Maybe they don't want to think about it. They just want to forget about it. And then something drudges it up and now they feel necessary to come forward. And I mean, we've seen that indicative of even within the religious community, right? Catholics and other issues that have occurred where people have come across and come up and said, hey, I was sexually assaulted. But for harassment, there should be a certain statute of limitations based on that.
Yeah. Listen, everybody, this is Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host, Bill Forster, with my co-hosts, Kevin and Chuck. Chuck and Kevin, however you want to address it. I'm going to hit you with my Jadakiss voice as he did Dipset. I'm outside. Where y'all at? All you ladies that was yesterday, where are you? You know what I'm saying? Yo, come here and express yourself. I get it, because the way it was conveyed yesterday, you made me felt like I said something disrespectful. And I never said, and I'm going to say this all night long, I never said I condone sexual harassment. I never said that I condone him sexual harassing women. All I said is that the picture looked fishy. That's all I said. And so many women, Stefania, you, other women have been like, yo, you don't agree with this. You think they set dude up. People are talking about, also, we can talk about another elephant. People are like, yo, they 45 talk about he grabbing crotches. He's admitting it. And he still was able to rock out. This dude is saying, I may have spoke out of turn. I may have said something that I thought is comfortable, but come to find out it's inappropriate at this stage of this game. And he's like, I'm sorry. And people are still like, yo, put the nail in the coffin. You're out of here. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what's your take on that, Kevin, from a political standpoint?
Well, there's a difference between the two, more than one difference. One, when 45, the crotch thing, that's before he was in politics, and it was outside of his job. So it's not when he was in a position of power. This was just, he was a nasty man, and this is how he treated women, right? Women he met at social events, women he met at different things. This was not in the Oval Office. This was not, done in the White House. There's no, as far as I know, no accusations there. So that's the difference. Is grabbing the crotch worse? Of course, grabbing the crotch is worse, right? Like, did this guy go too far? Like, there's certain things on here. Like, I read one where he was hitting on one of the women at a wedding. That should be tossed immediately, right? He's at a wedding. He's a single guy. He hit on a woman. I think that's human nature. So I think there's some legit ones in here where he crossed that line. Look, we all go through this training.
What are you reading? What do you have in front of you? What are the
so I mean, you can go to even just something as simple as Wikipedia, kind of gives you the breakdown of each one. But I've also sitting here, right. I got Letitia James's report up, and she breaks down each event.
Do you want to pull that up if you want to?
Yeah, I'll
because we ain't got to sit here and look at these two people all fucking night.
Yeah, I'll pull it. And you're right.
I got Vanetta in the house. Hold on. I got Vanetta. Vanetta's in the building, everybody. Come on, big. What up, Sissy? Hey. How you feeling now?
What's happening?
I'm good. How you feeling? I'm going to read some of the comments. Oh, I see a lot of people on YouTube. Suzanne said, "Be careful. Sexual harassment is not a time. It's usually repeated." Suzanne, I understand that. She says, "Do not be touchy-feely. A lot of us may have experienced trauma on a sexual assault." I understand that. I really do. Suzanne said, also, Bill Cosby and Governor are two different cases. Yeah, I agree with the two different cases, but it's still sexual harassment. I mean, the bottom line is Bill Cosby, he doping people, but women still kept coming back to him, right? I'm not co-signing anything. Sexual harassment, it's just like assault. There's different levels to this shit. I totally get that. You know what I'm saying? It really is. She also said if it was unwelcome behavior, then it is sexual harassment, even if the person participated, joke and act. It depends on circumstance. I totally agree. Listen, everybody, we understand the definitions. We can go over them more and more again, and I'm with that. But what I'm trying to say to everybody is that there's such a slippery slope with this shit right now. It really is, because the bottom line is I work with Vanetta, and I say, Vanetta, you looking good in that skirt, girl. Right?
I be like, hey, thank you.
Right? But say, Kevin, you say, hey, Vanetta, you looking good in that skirt. Who are you talking to?
I be like, hey, thank you, Kevin.
Yeah, but
Hi, Vanetta. I'm happy to see you at a Facebook jail.
See, Vanetta taking all them compliments and shit.
Come on now. Because I understand the difference between someone who's being complimentary and reference to someone being offensive.
Right.
Now, if Kevin was to say, yo, Vanetta, your booty looks fat in that dress, I'd be like, what did you say?
Absolutely.
I would go for
because I think a lot of times when women begin to entertain bad behavior with men, that gives the men a thought process that what I'm doing is okay. You can't entertain it. You got to stop at the door. You have to.
Vanetta, let me ask you a question. When you see that picture with the one that we just showed up, if we have to, we'll put it back up again if you didn't see it.
I found it on Google. I Googled, I went to Google and I put in, what did I Google? I put in, Cuomo, in the picture with one of his accusers.
Oh.
And that's it. And there's more than one picture. Her face is blocked out, and the one that you posted, and another picture where he's standing in front of her. I think either he's about to put his hands on her face, or vice versa. So she's been entertaining this. So
Kevin, and then this is the real talk moment. Kevin, you just lost your name. You're not Stats anymore. You're not. Vanetta has your name right now. Earn your name back, Kevin.
You've been dethroned.
You lost your name. Like I said, one name is for fame, one name is for claim. Exactly. You earn your name, Kevin.
I'm sorry, Kevin.
Well, that's not a stat. So I haven't lost my stat name yet. You can beat me in the stats. But
I'll come with it now.
I know.
Let me
expect nothing less.
Let me read some of the comments right here, everybody. This is Real Talk Chronicles, and thank you all. I mean, especially Vanetta. Thank you. We've been trying to get. Vanetta is a avid supporter of Real Talk, and she's my sister friend. So it's just appreciated. I mean, she's developed a relationship with Kevin, and hopefully she developed. Oh, how nicey.
Boom! There you go.
All right.
He's trying to redeem himself.
Yo, Chuck, he trying to reclaim his name. He can't redeem himself.
Boom.
I kept searching. I found it a while ago.
Yo, what did I say? When I said it, he was like, I can't find it. I've been looking all over all night. I can't see.
I said to myself, I'm gonna find it.
Soon as Vanetta get on the fucking shit, he's like, oh.
I found it a few. Honestly, I found it a few minutes ago. What I had to change was how I searched it. I had to change it to Executive Assistant 1, not her name. And then the
I didn't even put that in. I just put in Cuomo in the picture with accuser.
How about that? Look at this.
Yeah, accuser. It's not her name. It was leaving her name out. Was the
okay?
And this this looks like the same outfit. See this right here?
Well, that means maybe her wardrobe game is whack, because the bottom line is because listen, I mean, real talk. Listen, if that means, but think about this. That means he went and changed his clothes, Kevin. And good eye on this.
That's different days. Look at his hair. I mean, that looks like a different.
Can you enhance it? If you click on the picture, can you enhance it? No. All right, let's see what.
They're blocking her face out.
Yeah, but go back to the one where he's with the other two women, right? Yeah. Now all of a sudden her face getting blocked out and shit.
Mm-hmm. They just started doing that.
Yeah, but listen, that shirt looked familiar. Maybe she just don't. That's her favorite shirt. Some people like black, some people like blue.
What did he like?
I don't know.
Was he done for the day and he changed clothes and then they went to go hang out afterwards?
Yeah, right. A little cocktail or two.
I don't know.
Or 3 or 4.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't know.
And I get when you're in not to cut anybody off. I get when you're dealing with people in a position of power. I get that. You have to kind of walk that dance very carefully. However, how many women have used their sexuality to capitalize on what they could get from someone in a position of power? But then when they come harder than what they're expecting, oh my God, he sexually harassed me. But you just came here with your ass hanging out.
Right.
What you wanted me to do? A man is driven by what he sees with his eyes. He's very visual. So you have to be careful how you dress around a man. Now, you can't have if you got a tiny waistline and a big butt. You can't help that. But you have to be careful how you conduct and treat yourself so a man will respect that. I've had a man to say something sexually advancing to me, and I put him to the corner, and I said, listen, you ever make a comment like that to me, I will smack the fire out of your face. I said, I do not play that. I don't subscribe to that. Them other little girls do. I do not. If you don't stop, this will get worse.
Vanetta, I love that. First, move back a little or move your camera up because I want everybody to see your face. Right? There you go. But but please explain that, because talk about how you. I know everybody's different, and
Mm.
and ladies and gentlemen, men and women you can be a part of this panel tonight. It just don't have to be women. I want women because I wanted to hear their perspective. But any man that feels like he got something to say, just text me or inbox me or let me know that you're trying to get in, and we can talk about this. We can bring in and we can open this up, because this is what real talk is all about. It's all about conversation. It's opinionated with facts. Facts and opinion. It is what it is. As long as we all respect each other's opinion, but we can't dispute the facts. I wanted to ask you the question. Yesterday's conversation I was having, somebody was saying, I'm paraphrasing because I can't quote it off the top of my head, is that you never know how women act once they've been sexually harassed. Can you give me a perspective from what you would do? Because like you said, I mean, I don't know too many sisters. I don't know too many. I'm gonna say white women. I don't know too many women. I don't know the women. How about this? Let me clean this shit up real good for everybody. I don't know any women I know that I think I really know, and that's covering all different ethnicities. They gonna go sit back and they gonna take that shit. They might give you a little bit of what you just said, Vanetta. Like, how are you going to handle sexual harassment? Please elaborate on that.
I mean, I would use Harvey Weinstein as a perfect example. He was a man that could make or break your career. So me being the investigator I am, I'm going to keep a tape recorder on me. So you keep doing these, but then you have to understand, he preyed on women who were young, 19 years old, 20, 21, and they didn't have that womanhood power to defend themselves because they knew who he was. If they didn't do what he asked, that's the end of your career.
Right.
Now, so you have to understand, he preyed on people who were mentally incapable of fighting and defending themselves. So that's why someone fell into that situation. And then when they got bigger, they were like, okay, try it now.
Right. Hold on, V. Hold on, V, because the comments is coming in and people talking. I just want to read some of these comments and stuff like that. Because I want to make sure that we are understanding who's talking about what and what they're talking about. Let me see. Stefania said, and there needs to be okay, she said that. Cleo said, before I retired, you had to take a course every year and sign documents that you completed the course. I'm assuming that's in sexual harassment and things of that magnitude. Stefania said, I think when Como messed up is that he was too friendly and perhaps flirted, and I'm not certain that the women rejected him. Very good point. Earl said, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Could be misleading as well, but my honest opinion says, if you've been touched, abused, harassed, do you take pics like this with your abuser? I think not. Maybe he did. Maybe not. Maybe she got angry with him saying no about something. Anything is possible, but for sure, harassment is not cool. Absolutely, E. Kim Shear said, it doesn't matter when it was taken, I say, but if you were claiming to be so professional, you wouldn't have engaged. Now, you talking about he wouldn't engage with her? Or, I mean, the bottom line is like somebody else said, I mean, we all agree that this is a single man and a man of power. And I don't know too many, correct me, Vanetta. I mean, I don't, and correct me. I don't know too many people that don't want to date somebody of power. Man.
Okay, I do too.
Exactly.
Come on.
And no disrespect to anybody if you're working at McDonald's, but I don't want to date the girl at McDonald's unless she can give me the free fries. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? If you give me free shit, then I want to talk to you. If you're the manager, I might play with you. When I was married, when I was single, I'm married now, so Malika makes my fries. Anyway, let me just go back to hey Javette. Let's see. Let me see. Wayne is in the building. What's up, everybody? See you, Cheryl. I see you, niece, Mama. Eunice. Hey, Ray. What's going on, sister? LaShonda is in the building. Paula is in the building. Stan, you want to chime in? I got you, Stan, if you want to. Patricia, what's up with all? How you doing? She said, I did a post regarding this issue yesterday. I personally believe that it has something to do with the data of numbers of the hundreds of elders that died in the nursing homes. You may be right, because we could talk about that too. Fingers were pointed on Governor Cuomo's staff and he as well. Someone or certain people have something on this governor. These women were paid a hefty price to say he sexually assaulted them. The truth will come out eventually. As I keep reading, gentlemen, do you think that this is a setup of him? Yes or no? No,
what I wanted to say about when Vanetta made that comment directly about a woman dressing a particular way or presenting herself in a particular manner,
right.
Regardless of the circumstances. If a woman comes dressed in a certain way that's provocative, we're adults, right? You have to be able to have a certain amount of self-control. I'm sorry, regardless of the circumstances, right? As a man, you have to exude a certain amount of self-control. And there's certain things that automatically, regardless of the circumstances, you shouldn't do. You just shouldn't. Sometimes you make kids I remember sometimes to walk the street and we were young, we were growing up. And we would see some fine girl and we go, oh shit. You would just see it. Right. Oh. But you know what? In the workplace, we have to exert a certain amount of self-control. You can't say, oh shit, because you see some female walking around with a tight dress. She's got a big ass. You know what I mean? You can't do that. Nor should you go take it upon yourself to try to do anything to violate her space. So I understand, but we as human beings, especially as men, I'm sorry, it's still a no-no. We have to exude we have to take some type of accountability and responsibility for our own actions and behavior, regardless of how a woman should dress. It doesn't make it right, nonetheless.
Exactly. Both parties do.
And hold on. We're going to open it up. I just want to get all these comments. And everybody, I apologize. Kev, you might have to help me sometimes read these comments while or let me know we have them. Everybody, I apologize. I want to get all your comments in for you to chime in with us and be here with us. I appreciate you so much, and I'm sure I can speak on Kevin and Chuck and Vanetta that she's here. Also, Eunice, hey mom, she said just say good morning and good night, nothing more. Exactly. Kim Shear said he was out of line. Okay, Christina, she said out of line. The kissing is way out of bounds. Christina, if you want to come in, let me know, because you was about to try to get him to my derriere last night. And I was kind of caught off guard with that shit. And
I think that was a harassing statement.
So let me know, please. If you want to come in and chop it up, because I need to hear what you got to say. Exactly. Kim Shear said out of line with Malika. Oh, even if you say what she looks nice, really? So Kim Shear, I'll send you the text. You're saying if somebody just says somebody looks nice, it's just totally out of line. So good morning. What? Barring good morning, like Eunice said, barring good morning or good night, everything is out of line. Okay, I don't know about that. I mean, what happens to how do people have work husbands and work wives? Like, where's the friendship at again now? You know what I'm saying? Let me read these comments. Lorraine said there are too many meanings of sexual harassment. Hey, tell her, Lorraine. Sharon said, I'm not going to go near anyone who has harassed me. All touch is not sexual harassment, according to the training I've had. Exactly. And I know you have a lot of this. However, if you bring it to that person's attention and they continue to touch, then it can be considered to be harassed. Absolutely. Lorraine said it needs to be defined at this point. Kim said, right. She knew better and Cosby was married. Absolutely. Lorraine said, we have to be careful. Next male execs aren't going to hire women because they are going to be scared of allegations.
Bam.
Wow.
Bam.
Wow, I never even considered that.
I'm gonna read it. And I'm gonna read the shit again. Because
that's a powerful statement.
And Lorraine and I was talking earlier today. Shout out to my sister. We was chopping it up hard body today. She said we have to be careful. Next male execs are going to hire women because they are going to be scared of allegations. Absolutely. Eunice said women can control what happens. Just tell the person I am not comfortable. Absolutely. Lorraine said the photo looks loving. Mark says, Bill, there are women who have an agenda. Quick pro quo in politics and private companies is real. what this seems like is that times of just being kind, flirty is gone. Exactly. Dave Conley's in the building. Wayne, what's up? Everybody knows when they want to bring you down, there's no time frame. Absolutely. What's up, Stewie? Dorian Ross, there's a statute of limitations on murder, but not harassment. Absolutely. LaShonda, how you doing, sister? Very, very fishy. Dorian Ross, it matters not where you work, Kevin. Okay. Stewie said, as a feminist, I think this site about politics and use this to get him. However, there should be no statute of limitations for sexual harassment, battery, etc. You can't give a victim a timetable to get courage. I would say that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah.
Anybody want to just try to touch that real quick? Hold on. Say that. Say that.
As a woman.
Yeah, say that.
As a woman.
Hold on, Vanetta. Say that. I want to finish these comments because I don't want anybody to feel like I didn't. Christina said, "Be careful with Wikipedia. Anybody can post information on there. There are no regulations." Okay, Andrea in the building. What's up? How are you? Good to see you. She said, "Our agenda: respect us. Do not proposition us. Do not touch us." Is that so offensive? Andrea, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I would not say that's offensive at all. You know what I'm saying? But you know what's so funny? Mixed signals is a mother too, because there are some people that don't be touched and stuff like that. I've been at office in corporate. I've been in corporate America, and I've had people didn't speak to me at all. But during a Christmas party, they was trying to back it up and drop it like it was hot, and then the next day they didn't say shit. And I was like, "Oh, like, this is crazy." But that night, I guess they could have got it. You know what I'm saying? So liquor alters and distorts shit. What's up, Vivian? How are you? Mark said Vanetta's in the house. They said speak, sister. Stewie said there are definite repercussions to going up against a boss, especially when the workplace has to protect them against ludicrous activities. Yo, Stewie, do you want to come in? You can come in and talk because, like you said, you're a feminist. And I get it. You know what I'm saying? Malika said, Kim Short way out of line. I couldn't get my check clean enough back then. You know what I'm saying? Hey, let's say Christina totally agree. My poor check cheap. What's up, Malika? I see you watching, you with your crew tonight, you hanging out. Let's see. Mark said it's the cat calls, it's the ass grabbing, the suggestive wordplay that fuels aggressive behavior. How about this? What happens if there's a female in authority as a boss, governor, etc.? What's the call then? Due process is due process. It's supposed to be the law, governor or not. Wait a minute. So are you saying she isn't a victim because she's smiling in these pics? Okay, we're going to address that shit. Maybe he wasn't like that in these pics, but doesn't mean he didn't violate her at another time. We don't know. She said that's bullshit. Adult men are supposed to have self-control. Let me find out that like I said, if you text me, I'll send you this because you have validity, but I think like this. I want to be able to have conversation. So please, if you want to come on and chop it up with us and have real talk, because that's what we do. She says adult men are supposed to have self-control. They can start and end wars, but can't keep it in their pants if they see eye candy or nudity. Vanetta, start with you. Chuck and Kevin, what do you think about that that statement?
It is a male-dominant world, and you can't put all the responsibility on the man. There is a certain amount of responsibility women have to take as well. Now, do I think he did it? I don't know. However, if you've been doing this all this time, you just got busted.
Right.
you can't keep doing bad behavior and keep swimming around because it's not going. Somebody gonna come by and pull the rug off of it. Because eventually you're going to get caught. So, and unfortunately for him, we don't know who's lying, who's telling the truth, and this is the problem I'm having. Because a lot of women are like jumping in this Me Too movement, and the women who have been really seriously sexually harassed are falling through the cracks. So you don't know who is right, who is wrong, who's telling the truth, who is lying. So it's like, I never thought I would see the day where a man can't pay a woman an honest to God compliment. Oh my God, he sexually harassed me. Because he said your boots you had on a fly? Oh, that dress is very beautiful on you today.
Yeah.
Because women be the first one to tell you, I can't get a man. Men find me defensive. They thought I have an attitude. You can't have it both ways.
Right.
But what you can do when it goes too far, check it. Now, you may want to be nice, like, okay, you know, I didn't like that comment you made. You want to be, because your tone can change a way a whole conversation goes. Now, you could be nice the first time. You do it again, your tone and your facial expression should mean something more definite. The third time, now I'm getting in your face, and now we're going to have a serious conversation, and my tone's going to change, and my face is going to change. Because you do it again, 3 strikes, you out.
Right. You know.
So a woman can't change the dynamics of it. However, look at the Weinstein situation. He played on young girls. I mean, I'm 19 years old. I got the opportunity to be in Basic Instinct. I don't even know if he directed that, but I'm just using it as an example. But it was a big hit.
Absolutely.
You know, I have a great opportunity to be in this movie. Oh my gosh, with Karen Stone, Michael Douglas, all these other people, and he'd be like, "I'll let you be just me, come and sit on my lap."
Yeah.
A young girl at 19 years old.
What's it worth?
Most often than not,
what's it worth?
Will do it.
Yeah, what's it worth?
Because they're afraid.
Right. Especially when they see fame, when they see that fame. I mean, it
right.
Is like it's only it seemed like it, and everybody. This is just my personal feelings, so don't throw the darts if you can't get them thrown back at you. It's only a sexual harassment if you didn't get what you wanted. For some, you know what I'm saying?
Ain't a crime until you get caught.
Exactly right. So I mean, this is we're dealing with. And listen, I'll go down a rabbit hole because I have no problems having this conversation. There isn't anyone here that's co-signing sexual harassment, disrespecting of a woman or any person. But the bottom line is, this is a conversation that we all need to have. And to solve the problem, we need to deal with the elephant in the room, as I always say. And the thing is, I appreciate Vanetta for speaking out, because the bottom line is, we don't know.
No.
I don't know, like when Kevin comes back, we'll talk about what Letitia James has found and things of that magnitude. Kevin, when you plug up, can you hear me, Kev? When you give us
Gotcha.
a little, let's talk about, I'm going to read some more comments, but I want to talk about what Letitia James found. And we could talk about that real quick. But let me just read some more comments real here. And I appreciate everybody chiming in, watching, Kev, Chuck, and myself, and Vanetta. I appreciate you so much. Stefania said, I agree, Chuck. Self-control and accountability are both necessary. Paula, what's up, Paula? Good evening. They keep going after these old men for sexual harassment and misconduct. But when are they going to prosecute the old white woman that lied on Emmett Till? Wow. She went deep, baby. She went back. She went back for the throne. Mark said, women women who don't want to say pleasantries like "good morning," "nice dress," or "shoes," uh, "your hair looks nice," or "thank you, hun." Things will all have heard. Things we've all heard before when we are coming up. Let me read. Open up this woman. Bovine fences. Yeah, exactly. Paula said, "I don't know if he did it or not. However, I thought L. James' target for her election win was to target Trump." Yeah, exactly. I'm very disappointed that she has not kept her promise. What is your take on that, Cav, Chuck, and then Vanetta? The fact that you know, all of a sudden she was going after old boy, but you all in Cuomo's ass, and it's okay. But I mean, what happened with the other ass you were supposed to get?
She's got a very large staff, and she can do two things at the same time. She's the investigation into the Trump Corporation still ongoing. That's far more complicated. She's got a large staff. She can do two things at the same time. I wouldn't take that as she let one go to do the other.
I like the way you articulate things. I like the way you articulate things. You my man, baby. I appreciate you, bro.
Oh man.
So I saved myself.
Yo, Kev, tonight you really like you definitely
smoke
tonight.
You bobbing and weaving today, baby. You definitely bobbing and weaving. You like Muhammad Ali tonight.
Go ahead, Rocky Marciano. Go ahead, motherfucker. Yo, Chuck, what's your
it's funny because I was gonna say something also on the same line what Kevin said. I mean, she does have a large staff, and who's to say that it's still not an ongoing investigation? I mean, right now it's been very quiet, but that doesn't mean that it's still not ongoing. So we still have to wait it out. But I was gonna say there's no evidence that it's still not, being, she's still not being forthright and still investigating the matter. So
right. Vanetta, what's your thought process?
Yes.
What's your thought process on what that statement was about giving 45 a little play? She ain't really in his ass right now, but like they said, she does have a large staff as she's supposed to. I mean, let me ask you a question. It's also stated that she has aspirations of being a governor. Do you think this played into her findings of Cuomo?
I don't know. I mean, listen, Delilah took down Samson. The power of the mystique of a woman has brought down kingdoms.
That's why you my sister. I rock with you, yo. You need to come on this show more often. Stop playing with us. You know what I'm saying? Stop.
And he's so silly.
I know you out there working hard. Also, real quick, little shameless plug. Tell people what you do, please, real quick. Tell me.
I wasn't on here for that, Bill.
Listen, listen. We're gonna talk about it before we go out tonight. I want you to tell people what you do because I love you and I want you to
thank you so much.
Absolutely.
I appreciate that.
Comments. Oh yeah, absolutely. Mark said Pastor Graves is in the building. What's going on? How you doing, Kev? You could have been on part of this, Pastor. Oh, this is some real talk right here for you tonight. LaShonda said maybe just another case of hateration. After all these years of this man being in government, nobody had a problem with him until he blew up during COVID with all the notoriety. Wrote a book, won an Emmy, etc. Some people don't like that. I'm just saying. Kev, Chuck, Vanetta, what y'all think? What's your thoughts on that? Excuse me. You think it's a little hateration, or you just think it's a validation? I mean, validity. Everybody.
Any of the accolades that and any accomplishments that the man has made. I mean, that's definitely to his credit. I mean, it's to his credit. Right. He did a fantastic job in terms of covering everything with COVID. Yes, there was some information and things that were obviously put into a book, which is now also being investigated because of the matters associated with the content or the data that was supposedly, I think he used his staff. He may have used what you would say department resources in order to get the necessary information while he was in office in order to get his book done. I think whatever he's accomplished, that stands alone and practically by itself. Is there always going to be haters? I mean, look, for argument's sake, you have a show, right? Real Talk Chronicles.
Right,
There's people that's hating that. It's, because of the
Yeah,
fact that it has some type of, right. It has some type of influence. People are chiming in. So there's always going to be haters. It doesn't make a difference where you go, no matter what you could be the person working at McDonald's. It's going to be somebody that's going to hate you. So it just comes with the territory, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah. Somebody mad because you can fry some fries better than they can. You're right.
Right. I'm on fries, and I was really supposed to be on burgers, and you're on burgers, and I got to do fries. You know what I'm saying?
Why she always get burgers and I get stuck on fries?
Right, you know what I mean? So there's always going to be some environment where there's going to be someone who's either envious or there's going to be some hateration that's going to be a part of the equation. So, is there a possibility? Once again, there are a lot of people who, based on his, I would say, his stern and he always held people accountable. And I've heard very clearly that he was a very hard man to work for. And sometimes, yes, they pushed him. They worked 12, 15 hours. And guess what? Some people didn't like that. And they didn't like his sternness. They didn't like his direction. They didn't like how he took the bull by the horns. So that's going to create enemies. Whether or not that's what's stemming. And of course, once, unfortunately, he decided to resign, all the hateration, everyone had comments, everyone who disliked him, it's all come out. De Blasio's he's on vacation and he's freaking calling hateration that this guy should have been gone a long time ago. And it's not all so they've had a bad relationship to begin with,
And Kevin, what you call De Blasio, the great what?
The great unifier. Everybody hates him.
Exactly. Let me just say this. I got to give a shout out to Raina Torre. She came up with a great slogan for Real Talk Chronicles, and I just had to share, just to break the monotony, the icebreaker. She said, "Real Talk Chronicles, informative, intellectual, all factual, no feelings." Let me read this shit again for this. Let me read it again for the slow. For the slow.
That
she
is
said,
great.
Real Talk Chronicles. Shout out to Raina Torre. She said, "Real Talk Chronicles, informative, intellectual, all factuals, not feelings." Bingo.
That's right. Don't come in here. You got feelings. Don't step into the arena.
No, yeah.
I know that's right.
Listen. You can't box and weave in this corner, baby. We got you.
That's right.
Tell him, right, Kev? Kev. Kev tell me sometimes. He was like, "Yo." After the show, he was like, "Yo, I took a lot of shots tonight."
I've had to raise the white flag a few times.
Listen, I told everybody I was coming in tonight. I had the bullseye on my back. I told Kevin and Chuck before the show. We was in the Real Talk room. I said, "Listen, I'm coming for the smoke." Kevin was like, "Oh shit, let me see."
Bring it on.
Let me tell you something. We're gonna close out in this section in a few minutes. I'm just gonna read the comments. I want to show a couple of a police video about a man being arrested in Washington, D.C. I got this from my family. He got arrested. I don't know if people have seen it. Officer punched him in the face multiple times. He when I first saw it, I was like, "Oh shit, okay, they found a gun." But then I was like, "Wait a minute, money was just teeing off on his jaw." You know what I'm saying? Crazy. Also, too, before we get out of here, I want to show a video, a clip of an officer adopting a young man, young African American, that was his father tried to burn him and kill him, and the officer went beyond the call of duty to do that. So there are some good officers out there. This show is never about bashing officers, please. So if you think that that's what it is, that's never that. But it's real talk. And when you look at the definition of real talk, I don't know if it's in the books, the dictionary, but you can look at four of us. You can look at Al Taylor, you can look at Allison Williams, you can look at Dr. Marilyn Corder, you can look at Pastor Graves, and you're going to see our picture. And you're definitely going to see mine if you talk about Real Talk, because the bottom line is this is what we did. And for all you listening and chiming in, your picture should be there too, because that means you don't have any problems conversing and talking about real things. And the bottom line is it's thought provocative stuff, and we're trying to go. Let me just read some comments real quick, and then Kevin, I want you to just explain what you have up there. Pastor Graves said, "Powerful people must understand that to whom much is given, will be required. With great power comes great responsibility. Don't abuse it." Absolutely. Mark said, "V or Vanetta dropping that biblical history." Kim Shear said she was replying to other people. Shout out to everybody that's just chiming in. This is Real Talk. I'm your host, Bill Foster, with my co-host, Kevin Branzetti, Chuck Richards, and our special guest tonight, who is always welcome back, Vanetta. We might have to find a slot for you, sis, and shit. You know what I'm saying? We're going to come on. So
Thank you.
Kevin, tell us what you got right here on the screen so we can talk.
This is the AG's report. So, I mean, it breaks down each accusation. You know, you want accusations from accuser 1, 2, 3, 4, and it footnotes what proof she used. I don't think I'm actually extremely happy Letitia James is a Democrat and Cuomo's a Democrat, so that we're not concerned about, oh, he's a Republican going after a Democrat or she's a Democrat going after a Republican. It's the same party. And we should be a little skeptical in life of everything. I'm a tremendous fan of that. But you know, with this allegation, these are women who came forward publicly first. Letitia, from what I'm reading, did a good job, or her people did a great job of putting this all together, right? They sat down, they interviewed, they talked to everybody, they put it all together, because it's not just accusations from afar now. I don't think Letitia has any axe to grind, and she did this for her own to you know, because she wants to be governor next so she could take down Cuomo. If this didn't happen to Cuomo was going for president next, and Letitia would have walked into the governor's seat too. You know,
okay, all right. Well, let me ask you a question, Kevin. Go ahead, Chuck.
Letitia James. Also, the other thing I have to give credit to Letitia James is that even though her office was in charge, or rather, it came out of her office, she used two different independent lawyers, two different independent companies to actually conduct the investigation. So in essence, what she did was she kind of distanced herself on the political aspect of it by not letting her office spearhead it, but she used two different law offices and retained them and told them to conduct the investigation. And then they were able to pull all the data, the information that we have. So,
right.
I mean,
all right, Chuck, let me ask both of you a question, and Vanetta, you can chime in when you feel comfortable. We've all done interviews, we all done investigations. You gentlemen have done it to a point where you've done an investigation, and then also you read the investigation to proofread it to make sure it's properly done. Is that what we have here? Do we have statements and stuff like that? There isn't anything in that. Listen, like I said, everybody out there listening, please, I'm not defending the governor. I don't want anybody to think I'm defending the governor. I'm just having real talk. So please, ladies or gentlemen, whomever, don't think I'm defending the governor. I am just doing what I do from a journalistic, past detective man is doing when I'm here presenting this podcast to you. What we have here, is this an interview and we're just writing down notes? Or is this something here that somebody has said, factual statements? When I say factual, proof that it happened via video technology or witness?
Most of these are witness.
I would say, like Mark said.
Go ahead, Vanetta.
Go ahead.
I'll let you go first, Vanetta. Go ahead.
Okay. I would say, like Mark said, when it came to the Emmett Till situation, it took one woman to say that a little boy was bothering her. And he was beat senseless.
Mhm.
There was no proof that he did anything. Now, this is a he say, she say kind of situation. Because it's getting to the point to where if a woman says, I was sexually harassed, everybody gets so scared, like, oh my God, they're fired. What proof does any of these young ladies have that some of the things they're saying are true? Because I could sit here and say, the doctor at my job, he touched me inappropriately.
And normally,
guess
when
what?
that's the
I
problem.
could make a complaint at the board, the medical board, and have him license taken away.
And normally that's where there's
what
a
proof do I
problem.
have? Is my word against his?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Chuck. Go ahead, Kev. Go ahead, Kev.
That's normally where there's a problem. Where hard cases are difficult, where it's one person, one word against another. Right? These happen in sexual harassment cases to rape cases. Rape cases where it's just the only proof is her saying it. They're difficult. When you have a pattern, is when it becomes provable, and that's the difference.
That's what we do.
It's the pattern.
I totally agree with you, Kevin and Chuck. I mean, I'm sure Chuck, you probably was going to chime in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with everybody from a law enforcement standpoint. That's what we do. We look for patterns and things of that magnitude. Everybody, I'm sure the three of us have been trained to the highest of our abilities, and we've gone and had special training. I've had it with the FBI and things like that, and I'm sure these gentlemen have too, have specialized trainings. Excuse me. What I'm trying to say is that this right here is interviews of people that have said they have been violated. What Letitia James did is she did her job. And listen, everybody out here, please, I say this with all conviction. I'm not defending the governor. I'm talking facts from a law enforcement standpoint. I have two other law enforcement individuals here, and I have a layman person that has a plethora of knowledge of just life. And if I'm wrong, correct me. What I was just reading right here was a statement, and it was typed in, as we say, at TPO, right? You know what I'm saying? That's what this is what this is. There isn't anyone corroborating these statements right now, right? Everything is what he did to me, and this is what happened, and this is what I'm telling you. And everybody out there, please, all the people right now that are grabbing their pearls and putting on the Vaseline, wanting to scratch my face, you know what I'm saying? and putting on your earrings. I'm not saying Cuomo is innocent. I'm not saying that. But open your ears and eyes the same way you was all about OJ. This is what I'm trying to say.
Oh. Ooh.
That's all I'm trying to say. I'm not sitting here trying to tell you this man is innocent. But if it don't fit, it don't acquit. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the shit is, don't get me wrong with this. But what I'm trying to say,
if it doesn't fit, must acquit.
Yeah, exactly. Please, this right here, what I've read, what Kevin has put in front of us, is a statement. Chuck, Kevin, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep.
No, they are. They're statements.
And now the criminal investigation is being done.
No, and Kevin, I'm with it. Listen, let me tell everybody out there in the universe, Real Talk world, if he did it, may he rot in hell. I don't care. I don't have a nickel and a dime. He's not my man. He's not like I don't have any political aspirations to be in his cabinet. Oh, also, Real Talk, Cuomo doesn't have any blacks in his cabinet. For all you people that's rah Cuomo, he don't have no blacks in his cabinet. He done hugged and kissed a lot of us, but he don't have no blacks in his cabinet. You know what I'm saying?
Can I say it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Black woman wouldn't have put up with this.
Go ahead.
Because black women wouldn't put up with this.
You're right. Oh no, no,
Black
you're
woman
right.
would have
No,
slapped his ass.
right.
Yeah, exactly. You're right,
Oh
Kev.
hell no, we ain't putting up with it.
Yeah, exactly.
He'd have got these 5 fingers of death real quick.
That's what I'm saying. That was my point earlier. Yo, you would have listen. Just with you, I know Vanetta for years, but do you just from what you've known her in interaction on Real Talk and just what you've heard right now? Because you see Cuomo touching Vanetta's titty. You know what I'm saying? What do you think would have happened? Yo, do you think she gonna co-sign that bullshit? Yo, that's it. Oh, it is. It's awesome.
Legs out.
Oh my god.
Come on, man. Oh, man.
Look, I'm a fade black.
No, I see her going back like this, fellas, like this. Oh shit!
Oh man.
Come on, Andrew. Be like, oh shit. Yo, Vanetta about her business, yo.
Oh my god.
Yo, ladies, I'm going around the diaspora.
Oh man.
Italian women, white women, black women, whoever, Spanish women. Yo, I don't see you getting touched if you don't want to be touched. I really don't. I'm not saying.
But think about this, Bill.
Go ahead.
There's certain women that men will prey on.
I agree with you.
So
I totally
the
agree.
weakest link, that's the one he'll try it on and see if he can get past. Like, he'll be like, "Good morning, darling. How are you? Hi, Governor. Oh, I love that lady dress she got on. Thank you, Governor.
But Vanetta,
Would you like a cup of coffee? Absolutely.
Let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm asking you, and gentlemen, you can chime in when you want to, and then we're gonna go into that. The last 5 minutes, we're gonna talk about that other thing. But or maybe we'll save it for another show. But let me ask you a question. Let's talk about looks. If these women were ugly, would people believe that Cuomo did it?
Probably
Keep
not.
my mouth shut on that one. Probably.
Don't shut your mouth. Don't shut your mouth.
No. See Kevin's zipping up.
Okay, now, if there was several women,
but then again,
what's beauty is in the eye of beholder, right?
Beholder.
So,
You beat me to it. I was about to say
Right.
the same thing. Beauty's in the eyes of the beholder.
Right.
There's a lot of
What I
women.
call
you know,
because he was not good looking. I mean, not being something that someone else sees as good looking.
Okay. Everybody got it.
Right. Perception is different.
Listen. We all agree. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I'm going to go on the record and say there is no one ugly in this world, right? Because beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But the bottom line is, if there's somebody that by society standards is not pretty, and she made a sexual harassment complaint against anyone, would people be inclined to believe it in lieu of like?
No. They're like, girl, no, you ain't no.
No, you know, I
But
have to say that
men have gotten with women who weren't attractive because they knew they could, and that woman wanted him, and they could pimp her.
That's my point. Listen, like I say, and let me disclaimer myself. I want anybody out there listening. I'm not co-signing anyone because you know what's so funny. Sometimes real talk is a lot for some people to digest. Their throats is not big enough for the shit that I throw out in the universe. It is what it is. Because what I just said right now, there's some people right now that just clutched their pearls and went and got a drink and they missed the whole concept of what I was trying to say. I'm keeping it real. I'm just trying to say that there are some people out there because what society deems pretty, just like the girl that was like, I get my hair done, nails, did whatever. Let me tell you something. She put like heavy girls on the map for a year. You know what I'm saying? whatever that song
Oh,
was.
Lizzo.
Yeah, like yo,
Lizzo.
she made fat girls, heavy. Excuse me. She made full-figured women attractive again. You know, I mean, sometimes, listen, the Tito's take control of shit, yo. That's why it's my podcast. I gotta say what I say, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna sit here and tap dance all fucking night.
Lord have mercy.
Yo, no telling when I kiss you or I didn't. I ain't got no time to be playing with that sometimes, man. Because you know what's over
Kevin, that's two.
Because
God.
So what I'm saying is that a lot of times factuals. What it was the movie that Michael Douglas made about a man being sexually harassed, and it was a point that he couldn't. It wasn't founded. So I mean, it took a long time for a man to be able to feel like he could claim that he was sexually harassed. So the fact of it is, when we start talking about looks, when people feel like they look at somebody in society standards, I'm not talking about my personal eye or Kevin's, Chuck's, or Vanetta's, but when I'm talking about society says, oh, she or he is not cute or pretty, ain't no way in hell he was sexually harassed. I would have deemed them probably the ones that have been sexually harassed more others, because the bottom line is no one may believe them. Because the bottom line is I believe a pretty Vanetta or a handsome Chuck or a handsome Kevin. You understand what I'm saying? Or Malika or whomever. But the bottom line is that we are put in situations that are so compromising. The moral of this story is that really, let's all be accordingly. And I think before this show ends, there is no answer into what sexual harassment, how to deal with it, because the bottom line is, Vanetta, you deal in a profession that you touch people, right? And you might touch a person, and he may get an erection, or she may get moist, and next thing you know, they turn around.
Oh, I've had that situation where a guy tried to make advances. No lie.
I'm only smart. You know what I'm saying? I'm only smart. You know what I'm saying? Can you elaborate on that, please?
Well, it was a gentleman. It was when I first started in my career.
You don't have to go into detail of the situation, but I'm just trying to say that from your professional standpoint, a la masseuse, you know what I'm saying, and things that you do for health aspects, a person can get aroused.
People do. Most men do.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to fix my camera, y'all.
That's all right.
And what happened was, this particular gentleman, he was face down. And most men, when they're face down, so just everybody knows I'm a licensed massage therapist. I have my own business, and I'll get to that later. But anyways, I was working on a guy, and he was turned over, and we're taught in school how to handle things like that. You see it, you don't see it. You don't mention it, you don't bring it up. So what happened was, I turned the guy over, and he was excited. He was erect. And so I went to fix the sheet on him, just tuck it. He pulled the sheet off.
He wants you to see
I
that
pulled it back on. Huh? What'd you say?
He wanted you to see that thing, huh?
He did. But when I'm in work mode, I don't even pay that no mind, because I'm in a different mindset.
Right.
So what I did, he took the sheets off, I put it back on. He did it again, I put it back on.
So y'all playing
and he got the hint.
Y'all playing hide the penis games and shit. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
He's looking for a happy ending.
Yeah. I want to get to the end. How did this shit end right now? Sheet on, sheet off.
So what ended up happening? He's so crazy. So what ended up happening, I finished his massage. And I didn't say anything about it. He tried to look at me. I didn't look at him. I kept a focus on what I was doing. I finished the massage. I said, "You're finished." I said, "Get dressed, and I'll meet you up front. We have a quick conversation, and I'll tell you some things you can take home and do." What's crazy? After the session, this man gave me a $60 tip.
He gave
Go figure.
So let me ask you a question. Professionally, where was your? I mean, like you had to keep reiterating, like, dude, I'm not trying to look at your private, right? Like, did you feel violated? I mean, when you got that $60 tip, like I'm saying, like you held your own, but please walk me through
I held my own
mindset. Walk me through your mindset with that.
Because I'm taught in school, then I worked in corporate America for years, and we're taught in school, if you give it no attention, nothing can happen. But if it does, maintain your professional stance. And they continue, you have a right to say, at a point to say, "Sir, ma'am, this massage will be over if you continue." Because now you're violating me.
If you continue to expound on your private parts, or if your penis touches my hand unwantingly, like yo, don't
Yo, Kevin.
Please, sir. Get your penis out of the way.
Then I'm gonna tell you something happened to me today. I had a guy who came to the chiropractor's office, and he was having deep inguinal pain.
Okay.
So what inguinal means is right by his testicles are.
All right.
Because he plays ball and he's a sprinter.
Okay.
And he was having pain around that area. With most men, they do have inguinal groin pulls.
Okay.
And you have to work that muscle out.
Okay.
So because I'm in the office, I told him, I said, "Listen," I said, "you're gonna have to take your hand and cuff yourself, and move your stuff to the side while I work you, and open your leg." He was like, "Okay, no problem, no problem."
He dropped his nutsack on your
and
hand?
When he felt that pain where I was, what'd you say?
He dropped his nutsack on your hand?
No, no, Bill.
Oh my God! Number 3.
Oh my gosh!
Let it down.
You ain't throwing enough, Kevin. You ain't throwing enough.
Just get a white flag.
Where's Malika? I need somebody to yoke him.
Yeah, she was a girl flag. Second flag. It was Real Talk Chronicles. He had to move his Johnson and shit.
Oh, God.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, Lord.
Oh, God. I thought she was going to give me the ultimate climax to this.
Kevin was like, "Oh, my God."
Like his nutsack touched her knuckles or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Yo, I didn't know how this shit was going to end. Oh my God. Yo, listen, don't bore me out and tell me you just end up giving him a regular massage in his groin. Yo, tell me like, his genitalias touch your knuckles and shit. Your right knuckle, your left.
Oh my God. Oh man, you are so funny.
Yo, Kev, listen, I'm having a great time with you guys. No, they would not. She said, Stefania said, because I remember when that overweight woman came against Ursha. Yeah, no, exactly. No one believed it. I even remember when Trump spoke out against one of his accusers. He said, "You can all see that she's not my type," and everyone laughed. Exactly. So everybody, This is Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host, Bill Forster. We having a little laugh and chop it up aspect. Sharon Saunders, I see you just coming in the building. We got Vanetta in the building. Listen, I applaud Vanetta. You are always welcome back anytime you want to with this panel.
Oh, thank you, honey. Thank you so much.
We got Chuck and we got Kevin in the building. We got Kevin, we got Chuck. Listen, yeah, we having laughs. I really don't want to make it that serious, but I'm going to just put a little thing out there and then we'll go get out of here. Vanetta, I want your opinion on this, and Chuck and Kevin. Kev, can you pull up the video where the officer arrests the man in Southeast DC? They got a gun off the street, full disclaimer, but it's about how one officer superseded his situation and his powers. I'll let me know when you got it, Kevin. And everybody, shout out to everybody on YouTube. Just chiming in. Listen, if you like it, share it. This is what we do, everybody. We just let me see. Yes, that's the end result. Okay, full disclaimer. I wonder if do they show the video in this, Kevin? Or we just showed the supervisor talking. Full disclaimer, everybody. The chief of DC Metropolitan Police, I think that's what it is, felt that the officer's actions were inappropriate. So, okay.
For those who see everyone's safety as equally important.
But I just want you to all look at this. We'll pick it up next Wednesday, but I just want to show you what we saw and how it happened. Embarrassed and ashamed. Chief, yeah, that's the chief. It might be another photo. I think I sent it to you, Kev, or do they show it?
You want to do another photo? A photo? You want to do this?
No, not photo. Excuse me. Just listen. Don't. I didn't want to say the wrong word. Kevin, let me throw the white flag because you about to get in my ass.
I'm going to need a shoulder massage from throwing the flag so many times today.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Are they going to show the whole footage? That's all I want to know.
It says there's a 45-second clip of the 4 officers surrounding the guy up top.
Yeah, that's what I want to see. That's what I would like to see.
I talked to a lot of folks who live here. They are absolutely furious at this video and the actions they say they see by officers in their neighborhood on a weekly basis. The chief says he is furious as well. He calls this video an embarrassment and he's ashamed of the actions of these officers. And the chief goes on to say, even though they eventually got a gun off the streets of DC, that was not the way to do it. Police now, they say after witnessing a drug transaction on handcuffs and pat down while
2G. Tried closing everything out to give me a second.
Oh, there we go. I know I sent this to you in email, I think. I mean, I know you know, I don't want you to have to search and list. I might have prompted. I don't know. What do you have?
It's there. I'm closing out everything else to
I think you might have it in. Yeah, exactly.
He was handcuffed and restrained. The video shows him getting punched repeatedly as angry bystanders yell and eventually throw trash cans trying to stop the officers.
This is not the way we train our members to get illegal firearms off the streets.
Chief Robert Conti revoking police powers from the 3 officers, placing them on the case attorney for possible criminal.
That's not I'm embarrassed.
See, you might as well close that out. You think you can get because this is his response to it.
Outside
I think I sent you the link, Bill.
Yes.
Louder than the
I think I sent
the link of their behavior.
Yes.
Our police department.
You send it to me in a text?
He said it to
Yeah,
both
the
of
text
us.
to
Yes,
two of us.
yes.
Yeah, both
Just
of us.
now.
That one right there is one he's talking about.
Right, right.
It was the Instagram post.
Yes, absolutely. Everybody, this is Real Talk Chronicles. We're not going to stay with you too long. We want to converse about this real quick. I hope you've enjoyed our conversation. Let me tell you something. I respect everybody's opinion. Ladies, anybody, men, women, you're always more than welcome to come on and talk to us about any topic of discussion on that day. Listen, the Cuomo situation, the Governor Cuomo situation is not going away. Police brutality is not going away. We still have a primary mayor-elect that people are working with. We still deal with the elephants in the room. Everybody in January 6th, that situation. We just got the bipartisan bill passed. What is it? Afghanistan is it Afghanistan. The situation over there is just crazy. There's so much going on in this world. We can only give you what we got. So let me, before Kevin starts this video, let me just run down the first Monday of the month. Al Taylor, Assemblyman Al Taylor. The second Monday of the month, we have Dr. Marilyn Quarter. Please, all these shows that we've talked about are on YouTube. You can go watch them or our Facebook pages or whomever, whatever your source of information is. The third Monday of every month is Allison Williams, the first lady of Def Jam. The fourth Monday is Pastor Kevin Graves, and every Wednesday is Kevin and Chuck and Kevin and myself. We are here talking about anything and everything. You don't know what we're going to converse about. So go ahead, Kev. Run this video, please.
Come on, man. Hey, Mo. Back up. Why you punching? Why you punching? Why you punching? Why you punching? No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. Why you hit him? Why you hit him? Man, why you hit him? Man, what's up? Right now! Yeah! Start some more units over here. Hey, Justin, back, son, back. Y'all, man, wow for hit him in his face. He wild. He wild. He wild. Your man wrong, Slim. Your man wrong. He was just stealing my kids, bro. Your man wrong. No, y'all wasn't. No, y'all wasn't. No, y'all wasn't. Y'all stole it. Oh, y'all stole it. Yeah. I got that from camera. Y'all put him in his face, too. Yeah. That's about guns and shit. Yeah. Look at this eye, Mo. Look at this eye. Look at this eye. Man, look at this eye. That's my cousin right there. I'm trying to record. I'm trying to record my cousin. You can record from there, though. No, y'all not. Come on. Why you touching me? You gotta back up, bro. Don't touch me, though. Don't touch me, though. Come on. You gotta get out of the street. You gotta get out of the street. Your man right there wrong. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Right there wrong. Yeah, y'all man right there wrong. He stole my man in his face. Couple times. You know you ain't supposed to do that, bro. Yeah, he stole him in his face a couple times. Protocol, y'all supposed to put your hands like punching people. Be honest though. Depends on the situation. No, if you have somebody, if he ain't, they only doing is talking out of anger. Why is he punching him in his face? You can't, you know, out of protocol, if somebody's being restrained, it's no reason for you to hit him. I'm just saying, is it by law? Hey, don't go to court. Why you pushing him out, bro? Why are you pushing him out? This ain't no crime, take what? Fuck y'all talking about, huh? Why y'all feel like y'all above the law like that? Cool, bro. Use a bitch. 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 You was quick to whip your gun out on me. Nigga, use a bitch. Well, we ain't worrying about that. We ain't worrying about that. What are you talking about?
All right. Vanetta, you're the civilian on this one. What did you see? What do you think?
I saw abuse of power.
Okay.
There was no need. The man's handcuffed. So what? He talking smack. So what? What's wrong, little cop? Your mama didn't hold you when you were a little baby. So you think you the bomb because now you got a little badge, got a little gun, got a little authority. Now you want to spray on people.
Right. I mean, you know.
And I mean, this kind of behavior needs to stop. He needs to lose his job, lose his pension, lose everything he got, because that's abuse of power.
Right.
The man is handcuffed
at this point, Vanetta. He's not handcuffed when they punch him.
Oh, he's not. Oh, in the fence. Okay, so I can't.
No, he's
not.
He is
still
unhandcuffed, trying to get him cuffed. And
he's fighting them.
And he's armed with a gun.
But then, you go around the guy and you punching him like that? Really?
Yep.
Come on, dude. Come on.
Kevin?
That's unnecessary.
Kevin, what's your thoughts on this?
I don't agree with that.
This falls to me under the case of sometimes police work doesn't look pretty. The guy is armed with a gun. They're trying to get his hands cuffed. Getting a man, woman, doesn't matter who, to get their arms behind their back is one of the hardest things you can do in this world. And when he is not doing it, then you go up to the next level of force. And punching is that next level. Punching him was not wrong. Would I have punched him in the face? No, I'm more into punching you in the gut. I want to knock the wind out of you, right? I want to hit ribs. I want to hit, diaphragm. But there's nothing wrong with this. If they let his hands go, that gun that he has on his body is a free weapon. And now we're in a close range shootout with numerous people.
Chuck?
Okay, I was under the impression he was handcuffed, so I couldn't see that.
Yeah, no, I got you.
Kev, play it again. Kev, play it again while we discuss it. Chuck, what's your thoughts on it? And I'll get mine.
All right, I think at that particular, first and foremost, they're trying to get his hands. Right?
His hands, you can see his hands are loose there.
Wait. Before you say that, go back all the way to the beginning.
Okay.
Right there.
You see that's his left arm right there on the screen.
That's right.
Okay, I see now.
Yes.
Let me just say this. There's a video.
Furious at this video and the actions they say they see by officers in their neighborhood on a weekly basis. Yeah. The chief says he is furious as well. He calls this.
There we go.
Let me just say this. Let me just say this. When I first saw this video, I was like, yo, they got a gun off the street, right? Officer punching the dude in his face, whatever, right? Then I had this conversation with my cousin, and she was like, yo, I feel like this shit is, disrespectful violation. So I said, let me watch it again. If we can get the footage of the initial stop, and when I say stop, how they have him against the fence, he's not resisting.
Yes, he is.
Wait, just listen. Look at right there. His hands are being held, and he's just getting wailed on. Now, anybody that's worked with me, I have no problems swinging, right? But this man is not. He's resisting to a degree where he's not flaring and fighting. Would you agree with that, Kevin and Chuck? Go back to the beginning.
I'm looking at.
Go back. That's what I'm saying. Listen, let's go back to the initial. And listen, I'm not saying it's great arrest. Got a gun off the street. Great arrest. Dude was selling drugs. All that. Great arrest. Right? What went wrong is dude is against a gate. You got two cops on him, and dude just starts punching him in his face. Tell me what you see.
That's the problem. I had not just seen that.
Go back to the initial.
Because I see that. You have to go to the very beginning.
Stay right there. That's what you see. You don't see no arms flaring and wailing. He got him against the fence.
He just punches him for no reason.
Go ahead. Let it go. No, you let it go, Kev. Right? All right.
Come on, man.
See, that first punch.
They can't turn him around. I got no issue with it. It is. Well, we can always go back to Bill, Chuck. We always talk about. We're not trained martial arts experts, right? That guy will not turn. He has a gun in his waist.
No, Kevin, I'm not.
They're holding his arms.
Kevin.
He's not. No, I got you. He's not flailing. No, I got you, Bill. He's not flailing.
But he's not permitting them to let him cuff him either.
But they're not letting him cuff him.
I agree with that. And listen, let me just say this.
This guy went to jail with a gun on him and scratches.
No, listen, everybody. Let me just say this. And Vanetta, you're the civilian in this. Everybody out there that's watching, this is Real Talk Chronicles, and we're analyzing. We don't know why that officer punched him in his face. We know later, when we see the gun, and from a law enforcement standpoint, correct me if I'm wrong, we felt justification. When we saw the gun, we was like, okay, he punched him in his face because he had a gun, right? At that point, do we have listen, I'm just playing devil's advocate, and I'm having real talk. Right here, I'm taking us out of, which is hard, out of our profession, because our profession dictates why we're doing this Monday morning quarterbacking in that terminology. But Kevin, you can go back. They both have him. Chuck, they both have him. And I'm not trying to sway your vision on this. I'm asking you to tell me what you see. That's all I'm asking. I'm not telling you the arrest is wrong. I'm so glad they got a gun off the street. In that aspect, dude needs to go to jail for life. But then now you have a commissioner, the chief, denouncing this. Because if you want to play, you can play this.
He denounced it, and I think the chief's completely wrong.
Okay, and I'm not sitting here to dispute you. So,
and this is the problem that cops go through now is, look, we could say it's not pretty, right? It's not pretty, but this chief's got to defend his people, right?
Why you punching? Why you punching? Why you punching?
Okay, if you pay attention at the video.
No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. Why you hit him? Why you hit him?
Man, why you hit him? Man, what's up?
Everything else is we already know the rest of that. So
Yeah.
Chuck, Kevin, give
Okay.
me your take on this.
Quite honestly, the man's hands might not have been frailing, right? But he's resisting. They know the man has a gun on him. They're trying to do whatever they can to distract him, to get him to turn around in order to cuff him so they can at least be out of harm's way. The punch doesn't look good. I get that. But a guy has a gun. He's less than a foot from me. I know he's got a gun, and the guy's hands are still loose. And I'm telling him to turn around because I want to cuff him. And he's resisting. He's trying not to be cuffed. They're trying to do everything they can to get him cuffed so he can't get to that gun. Because could he have bitch slapped him? Yeah. Because I used to slap people. Because that was more of a thing I did. I smacked with, I got a big ass hand. I would smack you ridiculous, like to keep you stunned, and you wouldn't know what was. I'm just smacking you. Before you know, I got you spun around, you're on the ground or whatever. Is the punch, do I have a problem with it? The man's got a gun. I'm trying to get him to turn around. I'm trying to get him cuffed. I got to do whatever I can to distract him so I can get him and get everyone safe. Because you notice that once he gave his hands, once he was cuffed, the punching stopped. It stopped. He didn't hit him anymore after that. Because the main thing was they were trying to get him under the control and trying to cuff him for the purposes of getting that gun off of him or not giving him the ability to get to it. It doesn't look pretty, far from it. But once again, there has to be, if there's another way of doing it, I mean, what, could they have pepper sprayed him? No, it's too close. They all would have got pepper sprayed. Could he have used an asp and maybe used his asp and maybe jerked him underneath the ribs? That might have worked, right? He could have used his abs and hit him a couple of times underneath the ribs to get his hands to go underneath, behind his back, which is another non-lethal weapon that he could have used. But there had to be some type of force that needed to be utilized in order to get his hands behind his back, because the man's got a freaking gun in his waistband. I mean, it's right there in front where he can get to it. And it may, like I said, it may look nasty, it may look ugly, but you got to do whatever you got to do, man, to get that get his hands behind his back so he doesn't get to that gun.
Kev, you can follow up, and then Vanessa, I want your point.
I mean, my opinion on this. Like, look, we see lots of incidents where it turns into somebody getting shot. If we're going to complain about some scratches on a guy with a gun, I got to put my hands up as the cops and say, what are we supposed to do?
Vanetta, Kevin, go to Kevin as I asked Vanetta, and she gives her opinion real quick. Go to the video what the chief said, and I just want to hear what the chief said. I'm just because that's what he said.
I already killed it.
Oh, okay. Well, unkill it. Vanetta, give me your take as a civilian. You on the corner, you see this, you Jane Q Public. What did you see?
I mean, everything happens so fast.
You've had a chance to watch it multiple times.
Everything happens so fast. Exactly. I think there's a good way, a better way, and a bad way to handle a situation.
Right.
Okay. Me on the outside looking in, I have friends. You guys, Bill, I know you're an officer. Kevin, get to know you. All of you are officers. My brother's an officer. He's a sergeant in NYPD. One of his best friends was
Tony, the whole crew.
Ron, the whole crew, right. So my thing is this: the two guys had his hands like this. Okay. Now, the guy could have gut punched him, and the guy immediately went like this. But so what you did like this to the face. All he did was go back like that. You're still not controlling the situation. If you'd have gut punched him, you would have controlled the situation. You wouldn't have what you got now. be smart and think. Yeah, you got seconds and think. But if you know this guy got a gun, and you see they got his hands and he's not complying, gut punch his tail, because guess what? His chest was all open. That would have caused him to fall
his
like
chest was
that.
turned to them. His chest wasn't the place.
Say it again.
I think the place that was open was the.
No, because before he started flailing, fighting them back, the guy was turned aside. His chest was open. The one guy who tried to leap over his officers and punch him in the face, if he was smart, he could have went underneath his arms of his boys. And so look, he's standing right in the middle. He's standing right in front of the guy. He could have gut punched him.
And the two officers are there.
That'll drop him to his knees.
Not open. The gut
yes,
wasn't
it
open.
is right there. Right there, because his foot is right between his legs.
And Vanetta, you're asking for, in the middle of, we're sitting here with the lovely thing of a screen and watching this.
Split seconds.
I'm still going to go back to this. It is an armed man who in the end got a bruise and was taken into custody, not killed. I give him a medal.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't give him a medal.
It's not pretty. They held their cool. They didn't. That cop, he could have maced that whole crowd. He held his cool. The other gentleman, they're throwing things. Everybody who threw stuff to me goes to jail, right? Like they're going. When the troops arrive, I'm pulling them out of the crowd. Everybody's getting locked up. That ain't happening. That guy kept his cool. The one guy even comes after him, threatens him, has like the screwdriver in his hand. He didn't pull out his gun. He didn't threaten anybody with his gun. I give all three of these cops a medal.
Chuck?
I don't give him a medal.
Like I said,
I understand cops have literally. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Vanetta. It's not a problem. Go ahead.
I understand cops have literally split seconds, not even that, to make a very immediate decision so they don't die, and pray and hope the other person doesn't get killed by accident or purpose or whatever. I don't know what I would do in that situation, but if you're a trained person to protect the community, like I said, there's a good way, a better way, and a better way to handle a situation. You got to be able to think quick on your feet and to handle the situation properly.
We're not trained, Vanetta. We're not trained. We're not trained.
That's the point.
And that's the problem. About this 100 times, that we would solve a third of incidents easily, if not more, if we trained cops actually how to fight. And I don't mean fist fight. We're talking hand-to-hand combat. They don't know how. They're not taught. So we all take what we've learned in school and as young men and women, and that's what we do. Because they don't teach us how to fight. We get 2 weeks.
I just found some of these cops nowadays. I think they're lining up a bunch of punks. Your mom and your dad didn't hold you. Your girlfriend or your wife is cheating on you.
And Vanessa, there are those, but I'm just not. I'm just like you can see. I'm pretty adamant about this one tonight, right? Like I don't. There are times I have to sit here and duck and go, "Oh my God, this was terrible." There are times I say it's a criminal
right.
act.
Everybody, this is good.
But in the black community, we see this kind of unnecessary roughousness on a regular basis. So unfortunately,
but we can't take other
it's not always justified,
right? We can't take our own history and things we've seen and put it into this incident, this one thing. It's a man with a gun. They did a stellar job. They could have erupted the community more. They could have started throwing things back at people. 6 other people there could have went to jail. They actually tried their best to de-escalate this, untrained.
That part I do agree with you on. Because everybody could, you throwing stuff at the cops, that I do agree with you. I just think that the guy just leaping between his 2 boys and punching him in the face, I don't think that was necessary. You could have gut punched me, he would have fell to the ground. You would have had the gun and had him arrested. Boom, down, 1, 2, 3.
You could be right. I'm going to argue that the gut's not open right here, right? When the first punch goes, the gut is not open. Now it is for a half a second.
But you see, he's standing right between his boys.
Their hips.
But it is open right there. You can see it right there. He's right in between them.
After the third shot, it's still not the best target's the head. I'm sorry. The best target there is the head. Is the better shot the gut knocking the win? Of course it is. The actual better shot thing is if each officer drops him in an arm bar and separates his shoulder and sends him to the floor. Right? I mean, Bill, you would have took him you had his arm, he was going down. Correct, Bill?
I personally listen, when I look at this video, when I see him punch him in the face, like I said, when I first had this conversation with my cousin, and I was like, yo, like what? Like, we got a gun off the street. Then she was just like, yo, I'm not co-signing this shit. I said, okay. Then I looked at it, how they have him right now. It's obviously he has a gun. He doesn't want to be cuffed. I get that. What happens is he ends up punching him in his face, right?
And that's the ugly part.
That's the ugly part. And that's where it's like, okay, could you have hit him somewhere else? Would I have punched him in his face? Or would I have gave him a ridge hand to the groin to mobilize him, drop him down? Right now, I don't know. I'm not, and listen, I'm not saying you're wrong, Kevin. I'm not saying you're wrong, Chuck. And I'm not saying you're wrong.
Now look at this here, right? What is this object?
Now, all that, wait, hold on. All that other shit now, it changes the whole narrative of the game. Because right now, whatever, but we all know this, Chuck and Kevin, we all know this, cause and effect. Let me tell you
I got you.
Yeah.
But I'm still going with how good these cops act. This guy's already the white t-shirt's already thrown. He's already thrown something at him. He's got a bottle, and this cop is still trying to calm him down.
Yo, listen. He could have pulled his gun out and listen. He could have. Yeah, he could have pulled his gun out. But he would have been. Listen, nobody's disputing. Listen, listen. The elephant is the punching.
Yeah,
the bottom line is
it's not pretty.
No, and that's what I'm trying to say. I think the bottom line is, when did they get him cuffed? He was not when they had him
because he still ain't cuffed.
He's cuffed now.
He gets cuffed
now. They did all that punching, and he didn't get him cuffed.
Yeah, that was part of getting him cuffed.
And that's what
like he's over the fence.
Even there, he's not even cuffed yet. He's they're still trying to fight to get his arms behind his back.
But Chuck,
the punching
see right there. See.
But see, it stops at that point because now they got their arms.
That's when I would have punched him.
Say it again.
What'd you say?
When he turned his back and he still wasn't come. Let me tell you something. I will say the punches infuriated him. You know what I'm saying? Like go back to the initial.
Right.
It infuriated everybody. Yeah, but I'll make the argument the punches worked.
But you're not controlling the situation. You're making the situation bigger than it needs to be. It's a dangerous situation. There's a gun around. There's other civilians throwing trash.
They got him cuffed.
Waving a screwdriver. So now you punch him in the face. You may escalate the situation now.
Kev, go. We're going to play this one more time real quick.
Only one person here to escalated something.
Go right there at the beginning. Listen, right now everything is calm. They have him. They have him contained.
They're asking him to put his hands behind his back. They're telling him, put your hands behind your back.
And I don't know how long they're standing there, but we'll say that 5 seconds. I don't even care. Yeah,
and now he done punched him 3 times before this shit turned left.
Yeah,
now he's wailing. Listen, you punch me in my face, I'm gonna fight back too.
Yep. I got no issue with anyone else.
That's 3. Even for that 3, before that third shot, he had his chest was open. He could have punched him.
And he chose
right in the gut.
The head was easier.
He's still fighting. He doesn't want to be cuffed. He's still fighting.
There is nothing wrong with this. I'm telling you, this police commissioner is going to lose his people over this one. They're going to go like the cops are going to completely. This is. It's not pretty, but it's good.
Everybody, this is Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host, Bill Foster, with Vanetta. We got Kevin, we got Chuck in the building, my co-host. Listen, this is what we're looking at right now. We're going to bring this up again next week. Vanetta, you're welcome to come back. We're going to ask other people.
Oh, thank you. I think I'm paid. So I can check Kevin on his stats.
Get his stats. You know what I'm saying?
Or Kevin, I can see you throw up some more flags.
Kev, you gonna throw up them flags?
This was a record tonight. I think I told you.
Oh my gosh.
I'm making an appointment with Vanetta for tomororw.
Everybody,
my website is handsofTouchVLH.com.
Tell them where you at. Tell them again, V, real quick.
I'm in Jersey City. I do travel. My website is Hands Up Touch, V as in Victor, L as in Larry, H as in Harry.com. You can go right to my website, see all the modalities I do. We have a conversation. You can appointment with me, or you can go to my Instagram page, hands.up.touch, and you can see all the pictures and videos and things like that.
But now let me ask you a question real quick. Who did your website?
Oh, the beautiful, sexy, vivacious, smart, intelligent, tall, chocolate, who has a beautiful husband, who is just a bomb at what she does. Her name is Malika Vaughn.
That's it. Design interaction.
She did a great job. Oh my gosh. When she first sent it to me, just a few pictures and stuff, I broke down and cried because I couldn't believe it was me on my own website. And I was just overcome with emotion because I've been working really hard at my business. And this pandemic has really cost me a lot.
Money, exactly.
Because I'm self-employed. You know, I do have a job, but, you know, my private business or my corporate contracts, those are on hold. I lost a lot of money.
Absolutely.
Really, and I'm still trying to hustle and trying to get that money back. But Malika,
get that money, girl. Exactly.
She did me so right. I was so grateful. Wherever she said I had to pay, I sent it right to her.
That's it.
I wasn't asking for no discount, no hookup. Well, I've known Bill for over 10 years.
Exactly.
I wasn't rocking with that. Yeah, I paid her what she said because business is business, friendship is friendship. Absolutely. And I can separate the two. And she did. Oh my gosh.
You still like your work, correct, sis? You still like
your work? I love what I do. I'm passionate about what I do. I'm an energy mover. I'm an energy breaker. And I'm an energy chaser. That's what I do. I create experience for you.
Everybody, this is Real Talk Chronicles. We got Vanetta. Vanetta, you're welcome to come back with us next week. We're going to pick up that conversation, that topic, because that is so law enforcement, what we just saw right now tonight. Right, Chuck?
Yeah.
Right, Kevin? That is so, like, yo, it's part of it.
I agree, except for the punching.
I get you. Well, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk.
But I love you, Kevin. I love you, Chuck.
Yeah. Listen, yo, Kev, give us some positive affirmation. Chuck, give us some positive affirmation. And Vanetta, I'll let you end us with some positive affirmation tonight because you were the guest and you were so nice enough to come in.
But, thank you.
Go ahead, Kev, Chuck.
All right. So just two quick things, then, right? One, like I always say every week, take a break, everybody. Take a night off from the news, from social media. Get out. Go hang out with friends. Sit out, read a book, go for a hike.
Come
on, Chuck. Where's my joke?
You know about the hikes, right?
You know about them hiking.
The other is
Kevin always gonna go hiking.
Look, we have to be out here talking to each other.
Yeah,
thank you, Vanetta. You jumped right in on this too, huh?
Anytime, I love you, man.
Yeah. Watch out, lady.
But
Kevin,
this
get
is
you
what
between them
this is what
rocks.
it's all about here tonight, right? That and I completely disagreed on that video, but we could talk about it.
Absolutely.
Right? And we're sitting here, we're smiling, telling each other we
Yeah.
love each other, and have a good night, right? That's what it's got to be
Absolutely.
about. We got to be out there
Absolutely.
talking to each other. We got to hear
Absolutely.
each other a little bit.
This is real talk,
So,
everybody.
Have a
Chuck,
good night,
Yeah.
all.
Chuck,
Well, like I always said, and I've said it before, communication. You know, we're not going to be able to get from A to Z unless we take the time out to talk to each other, to relate to one another, and to respect each other's opinions. And yeah, there are going to be topics that we're going to go across. There are things that we're going to hear that we don't like, but we have to learn to agree to disagree. All right, and that's what kind of will help bridge some of the gaps that we've had, whether it be law enforcement, the community, whether it be the clergy in the community, whatever. We have to communicate. So talking in this forum itself gives everyone the opportunity to do so. So that's the most important thing, that we continue to communicate each other, but also respect each other's opinion.
absolutely. Vanetta,
First and foremost, Bill, you know I love you and Malika to death.
absolutely.
You know I do. And
Absolutely.
Aww. And I just thank you, gentlemen, for welcoming me onto the show to give a female perspective, you know, in reference to seeing both sides of the coin and being non-biased.
Right.
Just think about this. God gave us one mouth and two ears. What does that mean? Do more listening and less talking.
Right.
Be willing to, if you know, Dr. Martin Luther King said, hate is such a heavy burden to carry, love is such a lighter burden. And I think we have lost self-respect. That's why we respect each other. That's why you see these things with Cuomo coming up, Trump coming up, because of lack of self-respect. And just being loving each other. If you take so many other things out of the equation, life would be easier. You know, God's main commandment when it came to the New Testament is just love each other. That's the main thing he always said.
Absolutely.
It ain't got to do with color, nothing like that. This world would be so boring if it was one color.
Absolutely.
If I see one more black person.
You know, it's so funny. You're totally right. Everybody, this is beautiful. Thank you so much. I just want to read some comments before we get out of here.
It's not like we're 45 minutes behind.
Oh, no, absolutely. Pastor Kevin Gray said, racism.
Now you stepping timekeeper? How many jobs you got, Kevin?
Oh, wait. Malika's out tonight. That's why he's going late.
Malika's not here. If Malika was here, forget it.
Malika is with her girlfriends downstairs having tea time and shit. You know?
Now I get it.
Oh, okay. Because she be tapping on your shoulder like.
Okay. I'm assuming they're downstairs. I don't know. I think I hear them. Let me just say this. Pastor Good. First and foremost, everybody's saying great show tonight. Thank you all, Eunice, Stefania. Pastor Kevin Gray said years of systemic racism has caused many of us in the Black community to be skeptical of police tactics due to the prolonged abuse of power and police misconduct. Some of us view police as paramilitary organizations that operates like an occupying force, rather than an agency that truly has the best interest in our community it serves. Absolutely. Shout out to everybody that's watching. We appreciate you. I'm sure I speak for all individuals here. Vanetta, Kevin, Chuck, and myself, Malika, whomever, Pastor Kevin Graves, Allison, Al Taylor, and Dr. Marilyn Corder. We appreciate you all. I see you, Eddie Vieira, on YouTube. Thank you so much. We will pick that topic up again starting next Wednesday. Chime in, tell a friend, tell a foe, share it, please. The hardest thing is to give people is knowledge, and people don't want. Go ahead, Vanetta. You want to say something before we get out of here?
Yeah. So just so you know, the U.S. Open is happening this year.
Right.
And the way it's looking, I'm going to be working because I wasn't going to work this year, but they've asked me to come back.
Oh, well,
so usually I get free tickets.
I
got you.
Listen, don't tell everybody shit. You know what I'm saying? Just some
no, I can't.
Exactly.
Just for you gentlemen. Just for you gentlemen.
It's time to go. That's offline shit.
That's green room talk.
Okay, my bad. I got a little decorum up in here.
Exactly. Love you. Love everybody. We love you. We appreciate you. Real talk. See you next Monday.
Kevin, really?
Get out of here. Stats. Get your stats together. Banana got your name.
He the timekeeper, he the stats, and he the flag thrower.
Good night, everybody.
All right.
Thank y'all. Good night.